Today, last week's Nintendo Direct did some huge numbers, but there are some cracks that have emerged. There's some fan comments and sentiment that just isn't as positive as I think Nintendo would want it to be. So it's got us thinking, does Nintendo need to overhaul this formula? Is it time to rethink the Nintendo Direct?
There have been a lot of things that have happened so far in the Switch 2 generation that have been a little like counterintuitive. And this is another one of them. It's like, people are screaming, drop the price in a live stream, and at the same time, everything's breaking records, everything's selling out.
Yeah.
And I think this is another one that we're going to talk about today, where this Nintendo Direct shattered all these records, did more than the Apple conference, and so on. Mm-hmm. But as longtime watchers, as longtime participants in creating Nintendo Directs, I think we've seen some things. It's like, all right, is this working as well for Nintendo as they want it to be?
Yeah.
Is the kind of playbook that they've been following as perfect as it once was? Or is it time to maybe introduce some new elements to it?
That's true, yeah. Nintendo Direct has been around for 10 plus years. The world has changed in 10 plus years.
Has.
So yeah, we want to talk about like the current sort of landscape of how people want to get information from Nintendo, and is Nintendo Direct still kind of satisfying that need and meeting people where they are right now? It's an interesting conversation because I myself have seen the struggle, sort of the dichotomy between the two sides of like record-breaking stuff, massive Direct, 60 plus minutes, tons of games, and then this other side that's like, I'm not satisfied with this.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Exactly. So we'll be digging into that.
Yeah.
I've also been digging into some bowls of ramen.
We have, and it's been fantastic.
You might be wondering why. It's for our next Super Kit and Krysta 64 vlog.
Yes.
Which, if you didn't know, this area that we're in, it's sandwiched right in between Sony PlayStation headquarters, where our old Nintendo office used to be, what used to be the Capcom headquarters. There are just a lot of Japanese game developers constantly coming in and out of this area. And we've hung out with them. We've talked to a lot of them. They've told us where you live in this one town, there are a couple ramen restaurants that are like on the level of Japanese excellent ramen.
Yes.
So we're going to these ramen restaurants. We're sharing some of our stories of taking some developers to these places. We're showing them off. There will be secrets no longer.
We are not gatekeeping the ramen.
No.
We are
going
to
these
share
places.
it with all of you wonderful people. If you live in the Bay Area or are visiting the Bay Area, please try some of these places. We did do some due diligence and research on our part to make sure we are accurate in our ramen restaurant recommendations. We've since reached out to some game developers and just asked them to give us their updated recommendations and their updated, best ramen restaurant on their list. And we have got some surprises.
Yes.
Which upended our list a little bit. So we're going to save that for the video. But we're excited to take you around. We haven't done a vlog in sort of our hometown area for a while, since the last few vlogs was us traveling and stuff. So it's kind of nice to be back home and show you around where we are. And this is kind of like our daily lives. And these are places that we go to and we've gone to for years. So it's been really fun. Also the eating part.
I'm just excited to eat lunch.
It's really great. We've been eating. It's been great. We've been doing like every other day, because I don't think we can eat ramen every single day. You might get a heart attack.
I don't think we should do that. We don't usually eat lunch around here. Like, the truth is, like, we're in like a pretty small office building that we don't have like a refrigerator or anything. So when we come into the office, it's like, all right,
you can snack. You
can bring something in. Like, I've been eating like an instant noodle here or there, but it's like, I can't bring, okay, I've got my leftover beef stew from the night before, and I'll be heating this up at 12 o'clock exact. It's like, no,
also,
you can't.
We don't have time to eat
you
lunch.
can't do that. So, like, I think you and I usually eat something big in the morning.
Yeah, we have a big
and
breakfast.
we go until dinner.
Yeah.
So this act of like, we're going out to lunch, we're eating this big ramen.
I know, it's kind of nice.
Like last night, I was like, I don't think I need to eat dinner.
I only ate half my ramen and I ate the rest of it for dinner.
My physiology has been disrupted by ramen.
That's right. You've been like doing your own like Jack Dorsey fasting.
Body hacks.
No, body hacks. That's the secret.
Yes.
Body hacks.
No, we have also been exploring some of the reasons why the price of Amiibo have skyrocketed. $50.
Yeah,
for
the most expensive.
For the Kirby Air Riders Amiibo. And we kind of went back. This is a new video that's on our channel if you want to check it out. Kind of went back to, our days of working on Amiibo over 10 years ago, and kind of looked at some of the factors and kind of how the role of Amiibo at Nintendo changed over the years. And along the way, I got to say some nice things about Skylanders, so I'm glad we could do that.
Your beloved Skylander. A mention of Skylanders in 2025 is pretty wild, which I love.
I got pretty. So something else we do on Patreon, we do the bonus Q&A, and always every time I pick a song to put at the beginning and the end.
Did you get nostalgic for Skylanders?
And this week I was like, all right, we were just talking about Skylanders. I'm going to go grab a Skylanders song to put in the bonus Q&A for this week. And the comments on these videos, just the soundtrack, it's so many people who are like, I'm all grown up now, but this takes me back to when I was 9 years old. Like,
you weren't 9 years old.
Well, this is not me. I'm not leaving these comments.
Let's be real.
No, I was a grown adult playing with Skylanders.
Very grown.
But it was like this is like the Ratatouille moment for like a big chunk of the generation. I was like, oh, this is like really sweet to read all these comments.
This is like
why don't we have Skylanders back? Now I'm getting upset.
This is like the Nintendo Minute babies. My Nintendo Minute babies.
The 3DS.
That grew up watching us on a 3DS, and then whenever I hear from one of my babies, I'm like, oh, you're grown up. You're grown. You went to college.
Yeah.
You got jobs.
Right,
and stuff.
right.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. But it's like one of those moment in time kind of discussions. But yeah, Amiibo has such an interesting history, and we launched the very first, when Amiibo first came out, we were on the team that launched all that. So just so crazy to see where it started and how it ended up. And now we're at $50 swappable Kirby Air Riders Amiibo. It's like, who could have called that? It's been a wild journey for Amiibo, and we dig into it all in that video. Yeah. So it's great. We'll have that linked below.
Well, let's roll into our discussion of Nintendo Direct. But first, let's roll into shouting out our sponsor, which is HelloFresh. Thank you, HelloFresh. If you haven't noticed, fall is here.
Fall is here.
That means it's time for some food that's going to stick to your ribs.
You need some cozy comfort food in the fall.
You do. And did you know that HelloFresh has doubled their menu, and they've got all sorts of fall-approved classics. So there's now over 100 options every week, including all the fall stuff, but also recipes from around the world, which is delicious.
And they have bigger portions. Because, you might want to You might want to be in your bulking phase, in the fall. Because you're cold, your body's burning more calories. And you need to eat more. Stick to the ribs, like you were saying. Yes. So it keeps everybody satisfied with some bigger portions. You eat a lot, so you might need
I'm a big eater.
You're a big eater.
That really does have...
You actually might need this.
That truly does have my attention, yes. Because I'm eating a piece of toast in the morning, and then I get dinner, like I need to eat.
You need to eat.
This man needs to eat.
You need to eat a real meal, and that's what HelloFresh can give you.
It does,
a big portion of
good they've even got steak and seafood options. Get them delivered every week at no cost. There's so much more seafood on the menu now, 3 times than what they had before. So it's always fun to just check back to the HelloFresh site and see what kind of tasty little action can I get going for myself here this week.
It's good that they have local seasonal produce as well, and fruit and stuff like that, so you can kind of pick and choose what's in season now and eat the freshest stuff.
It's good.
It's great.
So the best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/KitKrysta10FM now to get 10 free meals and a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/KitKrysta10FM to get 10 free meals and a free item for life.
We'll put the link right over here with that QR code for you to scan to get your free stuff. And in the description below.
That's right. All right. Let's talk about Nintendo Direct and really take a critical eye to the current state of Nintendo Direct. And that was something that I think I really did come to appreciate I don't know about you, as we worked at Nintendo more and more. It was like, there is nothing that is off limits from this discussion of how can we make this better. And I think that stems from the development philosophy of oh, you think this is good? Well, here's Mr. Miyamoto. He's going to tell you 20 reasons why it actually sucks, and you need to push yourself to make it better.
The thing I love about Nintendo is that they're not precious about stuff.
Anything.
Truly. people can get precious. You know, you're like, oh, this thing that I worked on for so many years. I've honed this perfect thing, but like the world is changing around you, so you need to keep evolving.
Right.
Nintendo is so good at that, which is why they've lasted and stayed relevant for so long, because they are not precious, and they're very good at like just emotionlessly like hacking off the stuff that doesn't work.
Right.
Which might sound brutal, but like that is literally why they're successful. So I always admired that.
Right.
Too.
Right.
It takes a lot to do.
And there
that.
are times where working there, you can definitely feel that of like, gosh, let's crack a smile. We just broke the records, but there is some reason why this is resulting in the strong results that they have.
Exactly.
And we get questions like this all the time of like, gosh, why are you guys so hard on Nintendo? You guys seem to sometimes take a really hard angle on Nintendo, and I think it's because we have that perspective of like when you work there,
they're hard on you.
The expectation is perfection.
Yes.
So when we see them doing things that are not at the level that they are capable of, we have to comment on that because that's what is expected when you work there.
They literally ingrained it into us. It's actually their fault that we're hard on them. But very much like the story of Amiibo, you worked on the very first Nintendo Direct.
Yes.
We were both at the company where we basically, helped to launch Nintendo Direct when we were there, when Mr. Iwata germinated the idea.
Germinated? Wow.
Germinated.
Look at you with the thesaurus today.
He watered
oh my
it.
Gosh.
And he
I'm impressed.
He photosynthesis.
Wow.
Nintendo Direct.
I am impressed.
You are?
Okay.
My word-a-day toilet paper is working, everyone. We do have an episode called The Untold Story of Nintendo Direct, where we go into like all the details
you want the
and all
origin
the history.
Story. Yeah, check it out.
It's so interesting to look back. But once again, just like the Amiibo conversation that we were just having, it's like it started 10 plus years ago to kind of do a specific thing for Nintendo, like meet a specific goal. But then that time has passed. As they say, time makes fools of us all. So has time made fools of a Nintendo Direct? I don't know.
What?
We should talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Yeah, the first Nintendo Direct was in 2011, which, boy, that's a long time that sounds like a long time ago if you ask me. With Reggie in all of his shiny-chinned glory.
Yes.
And watch the episode if you want to know the story behind the shiny chin. But
needed some powder.
Again, there were a lot of specific reasons why this began, and you're very right that like this was one of those visionary moments for Mr. Iwata, but there were some very practical reasons behind it, which was at that time, we had the three big regions, Japan, the US, and Europe. We were really just playing whack-a-mole with each other, trying to get the news out, and we did the best we could.
Coordinated as well.
Yeah, we did the best we could to try and coordinate everything, but it was a bit chaotic of like just constantly stuff happening, coming out.
Yeah.
We never really had that many moments to consolidate the news and make a bigger impact outside of E3.
Right.
Or every now and then, like, there would be like, oh, it's the Nintendo Gamers Day, and like, oh, media come out for the big updates on. It was like
preview time or a media event.
Right. It was like a really
like
old-timey way of getting information out there. So there really was this need of like, okay, we have this news. What is the best way for us to get the biggest bang out of it? And just this realization of like, the way we're doing it with the three regions, just kind of spitting stuff out here and there.
This is not getting the impact.
We can do better.
We can do better.
We can do better.
This was also the time where like the world, in and of itself, was moving to a very like global news sharing kind of model with social media.
Yes.
And Nintendo, maybe a year before this, had just gotten on Twitter for the first time, had just launched this YouTube channel. So it was also like around that same time where like now with people getting news from social media, it's like it becomes like a 24-hour clock. Like there's no more like region locking. Or there's no more like, oh, if the news is just coming out of Japan, America won't see it. Those days were gone.
Remember when stuff was in Famitsu? It's like, oh my gosh, I just found this amazing thing out in the Famitsu in Japan.
Translated.
Here's the scan of the. You can't post the scan. That's not allowed. And
right.
Like,
right. So that was. I mean, we used to get it from like magazines and stuff like that. So those were different times. And then with obviously with social media, it's like the news is so fast and so global that we were like, okay, obviously what we have going right now, sort of the antiquated way that we were doing the stuff with the 3 regions just isn't working in the landscape of that time of 2011.
Yeah, there was this there was that feeling all that time ago when we were working in PR of like, okay, there's some things that Japan can do for the Japan market.
Yeah.
That the expectation was just like people outside of Japan are not going to see this.
Right.
And except for like sickos on the gaming age forums,
Yes,
who are
or like NeoGAF or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of that, like there was just this expectation of like, all right, we can do this, and it's not going to impact anything that you're going to want. You can still do this on your time,
And it
guess
won't
what?
matter.
Who knows? Maybe this game isn't even launching. Maybe this game isn't even confirmed for the U.S.
That's right.
Because
That's
it's
right.
launching.
We had a lot of those.
It's launching a year later. Like just the mindset, the way games were launched and marketed was just completely different.
Totally.
Than versus
The
what it is.
world was different.
Yes.
The world was different
yes,
too.
It was.
So it was a time and place kind of thing.
Right. So there was also, this expectation that Mr. Iwata had of we're a company that thrives on this philosophy of surprise and delight.
Yes, that was like the mantra.
So let's find a new method for us to realize that.
Yeah.
And for us to have the biggest surprise moments and the biggest delight moments.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
again, like we were able to accomplish that at E3. That was still a successful way of doing it, but we still had 11 other months out of the year of like, gosh, we make a lot of games, we have a lot of news for these games. Let's get the fans excited. So let's look at all the new tools that we have at our disposal in terms of social media and the need to unify everything. And that's kind of the way that Nintendo Direct emerged.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Iwata was also really interested in the idea of like owning something and having it be just Nintendo. Because even at E3, you're kind of sharing the stage
directly from
Nintendo.
them. It's not like it's not through the filter of the media. It wasn't that Nintendo disliked the media. Like they had really strong relationships with the media at that point. But it was like, no, there's something there's a novelty to a fan getting the information directly from the company,
like
which
the horse's
which
mouth.
now is just like no duh.
Yeah.
But back then it was like, no, there's not a lot of people who are doing that.
Right, and like E3 was a big moment for the company every year at the time. But you're also sharing the stage at E3 with other companies, other competitors. It's not truly like the spotlight is just on Nintendo. And so with the Direct formula, it was like we can accomplish so many goals. We can streamline all the global announcements. We can use this as an avenue to surprise and delight people, and we can own it, and we can control it.
Yes.
As we know, as we've said many times, Nintendo loves
That's
to
what we
control
want, yes.
stuff. So that was part of it as well.
So yeah, admittedly, the first couple ones were crude, but they got better, and they kind of honed in on what they wanted this to be. And eventually it became this industry standard that it still is now. And we've gotten to the point where others are just taking the Direct name and using it. We talked last week about how Nintendo doesn't really like that. That's not something that they like.
Yeah.
But in some cases, there's not always stuff that they can do about it.
Yeah, Direct is not a trademarkable word, so yeah.
And I'm still surprised that there's nobody out there who's been able to match the impact, whether it's State of Play or Xbox or whoever else is trying to do these types of presentations.
Yeah.
Nobody can do it for whatever reason.
Special, magical mix of the amount of news. We talked so much about the rigor when it came to working on Nintendo Directs to pacing and to like the Jenga, the Tetris game that we played with the script to rearrange all the games so it's perfect, so that the flow is perfect. Like that is just such an ingrained part of the Nintendo Direct formula that takes so much more work than you could possibly imagine, that I think not a lot of companies and not a lot of replicators of a Nintendo Direct have really cracked it, because they probably haven't put in that rigor.
Right.
It just takes so much, and it takes a huge team, and it just takes so much time to be able to pull one of these off. So it is amazing that the Nintendo Direct sort of formula in and of itself is still pretty special and pretty, specialized to Nintendo themselves.
Yeah, so let's look at, this takes us to the Direct that we had last week, and we now have some updated information about how that did, and I think this is from Stream Charts. They pulled together this chart indicating that Nintendo's had 3 out of the 5 biggest tech events of the year, which is really interesting. At the top is the Switch 2 reveal direct, then there was Summer Game Fest, then the September direct, then the Apple event that happened previously last week, and then the March 27th Nintendo direct. And yeah, it had higher peak viewership than the Apple event where they revealed the new iPhone. They were both happening in the same week.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, we're both in the Apple ecosystem.
Sure.
I have
not excited
I have
about
not
that.
cared about these events for a couple of years now.
I know. Where's my flippy phone?
Yeah, we're always, after it happens, we're like, oh, what happened at the Apple event? It's like, oh, that sure looks like the iPhone I already have.
Yeah, and
I
they
don't
really
know.
mess up that camera bump too, so I don't know about that.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
that's beyond the point. We live in the Bay Area. We're subjected to this stuff all the time. But yes, it did. That's actually pretty funny that Nintendo Direct. Mr. Iwata would be so happy, honestly, to see this chart. First of all,
These are his 2 loves.
he
Yeah.
loves charts.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, he loves charts. This is like a wonderful moment to just remember.
He
him.
would do so often these moments where he would be presenting
2
something.
charts.
2 charts, and
They
he would
look
be,
exactly the same.
and he would be flipping back and forth.
flip, and
and
you're
we
like-
would just be like, huh? And he would have the biggest smile on his
like,
face.
and
Like,
then look at this.
You see this?
And
You
then
see
that.
this?
And then look
Do
at
you
that.
see that?
You see that? And we're like,
I guess.
okay.
I guess.
But the other thing he loved was Apple.
Yeah.
He would have like literally a stack of Apple products. So like he had like the laptop.
Yeah.
You know, he was the first one in the office with like the MacBook. All of us were subjected to like really bad Dell PCs.
Yeah.
Eventually we got MacBooks.
Corporate Dell junk.
Yeah, so junky, and he would have like his beautiful MacBook,
Right.
and he would have his like 5 phones and his Pokewalkers, and like just he was like the biggest Apple fan. And when we were doing Nintendo Direct, like for the first time, he was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be like the Apple conference where we can own it, just like
Right.
how Apple does it." And we're like, "Okay, I see the vision."
Yeah, I mean, you could probably. I'm sure there's somebody out here who has an Apple focus on YouTube who's probably doing a similar video, which is like,
I'd love to see it.
you know,
Yeah.
we've gone from the Steve Jobs one more thing, like very theatrical, whatever,
to
to
some,
like I don't know, some
kinda-
guy on a
kinda
green
boring,
screen
yeah.
talking about a chip or something. It's like,
Yeah, Safari.
whatever. So,
But yeah, to see Nintendo Direct beating an Apple conference, he'd be thumbs up. He'd
right.
like
So all
that.
this is to say, like, you know, we're trying to beat some of you out there to the punch who are getting ready to leave a pithy comment of like, what are you whining about? This direct just broke all the records, did
Broke the
crazy
records, yeah.
numbers, had people are still talking about this direct.
Yeah.
How can you say that there's potentially some sort of an issue?
An issue.
You morons.
You stupid
You-
haters.
Exactly.
How could you?
So I'm just trying to get ahead of that.
This
but-
is clickbait.
Right, but the
Just
point of
kidding.
it is the question that we are here to discuss is not whether a direct can do big numbers, can draw in a big audience. It's again what we said at the top, is the direct formula as it is today, is Nintendo getting the most out of that they possibly can.
Right.
Because it's been mostly the same thing now for, I mean, you know, they'll still sometimes, like, oh, we got some new graphics or we got some new stuff, but kind of the direct playbook is as it has been for years.
For 10
now.
years.
For years.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And let's go back to sort of the original goal of Nintendo Direct, the original vision that Mr. Iwata had, which is around surprising and delighting fans, sharing news directly from Nintendo, and then, of course, creating a very positive atmosphere among the most dedicated Nintendo fans. You want your every Nintendo Direct to come away with 100% positivity from your most dedicated fans that are watching this thing. Are they all coming out of each Direct saying, wow, I was so surprised and delighted, I've never been happier? I'm not sure we're checking all those boxes now. Some people might be checking these boxes, but now everyone's so, it's not as like easy anymore. We're not such a holistic group of people in terms of being dedicated Nintendo fans. Everybody has their own taste. Everybody has their own fill in the blank game that they're waiting for. So that goal is now very hard to meet, even if you're doing these huge numbers.
Right. A lot of these factors that we're going to be discussing all kind of tie back to the expectation management piece, which is something that Nintendo's always been so staunchly in favor of. And you know, there's some things that are out of their control that are making it harder for them to manage expectations. But frankly, there's still some things that are in the old school Nintendo Direct playbook that aren't helping this anymore.
Absolutely.
And it's like, again, like,
Yeah.
is it time to take a look at these things, and do we need to freshen some of this up? And yeah, you mentioned kind of the reactions, and on YouTube, they used to have this on YouTube. It was, you could see what the percentage of likes to dislikes were. They since hid that, because I think there were a lot of people who were like, oh, let's do a hate campaign. Oh, let's drive it even lower. Let's get it below this percent.
The person that owns the channel can see it.
We can still see it.
We can see
Yes.
it. We can see ours,
Right,
obviously.
right.
Yeah.
So we can still see that, but there are tools where you can just put in a video and it'll tell you what the likes to dislikes are. So we found it for this last Nintendo Direct, 87%.
Yeah.
Which you might say, like, well, that's still pretty good. That's like a B plus. On this channel, we could say we've never had a video under 90% likes to dislikes, and maybe this will be the one. Maybe this is the one again.
The only one that we had that was close was my fault. My fault. Sorry,
Which one
guys.
was that?
Sorry.
Which one was that?
My Metroid Prime 4 hands-on impressions. Just being honest. You guys are not happy with me.
Krysta was fresh off the Kolsch in Germany, ready to rip some impressions on Metroid Prime 4.
I was hungry. I think I was a little hungry.
No.
Just kidding. No, I was honest. honest.
No.
But yes, the channel average, you were looking for probably like a 90 to... You want an above 90 channel average at least. And ours is well above 90.
Yeah, so
which is good.
unless you're getting into some really like controversial topics or like
political
really,
stuff.
really divisive stuff, it's like, it's going to be pretty high, especially for a channel like Nintendo. I don't remember when we were there. Like,
it was like 99, 98.
Yeah, anything that was under like 95 would be like
concern.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
there's...
I remember when we got the first like sort of pretty negative like to dislike on those NSO videos, remember?
Yeah,
and people were scared. People were legit very upset.
Those were pretty steep dislikes.
But people were like, uh-oh, things are going awry. Things are going haywire. We're worried.
Yes.
So, I mean, seeing this likes to dislikes, yes, it's 87%. For this latest Nintendo Direct. It's not like terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it is quite... It's not as overwhelmingly positive, I think, as Nintendo would like people to come out of a Direct to feel.
When people talk about, Nintendo Directs, it's like, it feels like Christmas. Like, it's like the highlight.
It's like the highlight of your year.
It's the feel-good highlight of the year for gaming. So it's like, you might want that to be a little bit higher. For comparison, I pulled it for the Switch 2 Direct, and that was 89%. And this was,
that's new hardware.
I'm sure there were a lot of people going after the fact, after the drop, they're like, I'm going to show them, I'm going to give this a thumbs down. All of that stuff. So this is actually lower, which is interesting.
Yeah, this is lower than the Switch 2 Direct, which is interesting.
Right, again,
that one was pretty divisive, I would say.
And again, it's all in the same ballpark, but it is definitely declining from what when
we saw.
When we were checking those numbers frequently,
it was 98% and above.
It was always like,
sure.
oh my gosh, this made my month. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
And we used to, as you know, as we have again mentioned many times on the channel, we used to pull those reports, those sentiment reports.
So
and those were always very high. So this is about 10%
there is kind of a growing
thing
of disappointment around
Nintendo or dissatisfaction or something. Something is going on in the human psyche. Something is going on.
So let's look at some of the specific issues that we have here. And I think one of the indisputable things is like it's become very predictable. The timing of a direct. And we pulled this tweet from Stealth, who Stealth really is like he's like an avatar for Nintendo fandom in a lot of ways.
He's also like the Nintendo
bookkeeper,
archivist. I imagine him in like a robe in this like library, and he's just like, I got the numbers, I got the data.
And we've had Stealth on the podcast before, but he had this tweet that was really, as we were preparing for this podcast, I was like, wow, what a perfect encapsulation.
Exactly.
For the last 9
Everyone's thinking about this a little bit.
For the last 9 out of 10 years, there's been a Nintendo Direct in September. He's got the receipts. He's got the dates.
Look at those dates.
Nothing in life is 100% certain, but a Nintendo Direct in September is close.
There you go.
If you're looking to surprise and delight, is somebody like death taxes and a Nintendo Direct in September? Is that what you want it to be?
Yeah, exactly. It becomes this thing where... because fans know the general cadence of these directs, and not even for the September Direct. There's many times of year where it's very eminent.
Early in the year,
like January, late January, early February. We always kind of assume one is coming.
Right.
You assume one is coming in June around old E3 timing. Sometimes we assume some sort of summer partner showcase indie world, which happened this year. You always assume this big general direct in September. And as Stealth has pointed out, these dates don't lie.
And even in our reactions, we were talking about like, okay, well, the way they've positioned all these launch dates, when they have the direct at the start of the year, they'll be able to fill in those launch dates for the spring and then tell us a little bit more into the summer.
Yeah.
So it's like we already know the mechanism of how this works.
Exactly.
Of like, okay, this is what they're covering in this one, and then we already know when the next one's coming and they're going to cover that. So I don't think that's a great thing. If it's so formulaic in terms of when to expect it, people start to get itchy. Like, oh, it's September, I'm ready.
You've now just canceled out your first and foremost goal that Mr. Iwata had put out there to surprise and delight.
There's no surprise.
You're no longer surprising anybody if everyone knows when this is going to happen, you know? And of course, you know, there is just this, and we're part of this, so we're not saying that we're above it all or anything like that, but there is just this huge sort of industry and conversation that happens around direct speculation when the next direct is coming, and then of course everyone wants to do fun predictions around what's going to be in it. So then there's this churn that starts to happen. And now more and more what we're seeing, which is like a little bit concerning, and we try not to do this, but we do see this happen, is like as soon as the direct is over, we're already moving on to like, okay, well, when's the next one going to happen? When's that next direct coming? What's going to be in the next direct? Let's churn on that, you know? So you're like just wrapping people up in this constant cycle of direct anticipation, direct hype, direct predictions, direct happens. You talk about the direct, and then you move on to the next direct, and the whole thing starts again. So I'm not sure that's helping just like the mindset of people.
Right, and we've seen this direct speculation and hype like overshadow actual game releases, like actual things that are happening that as Nintendo you want your fan to focus on that because that's something they're buying and giving you money for, and hopefully, you know, giving them momentum to buy something else after that. But it's this loop that overshadows everything else, and it's just not a very healthy place. It doesn't feel like the most healthy thing to be happening.
One thing that's sort of anecdotal that is kind of interesting that we've been seeing on our direct coverage stuff is like the predictions always does way better.
That's a good point.
Than the actual reaction to the direct. Like people are so wrapped up in like the what could it be cycle that when it actually happens, I mean, it's still pretty exciting. I think we all still get excited. I genuinely am still excited to watch every direct. But like it almost seems like once the actual thing happens and the thing that maybe you fill in the blank wanted wasn't in there, like the hype just plummets.
Right.
You know?
There was also something that happened on this last one where I guess the direct our predictions got posted on some forums, and they were like, oh, there's a lot of negativity around your predictions. They think you're really lowballing this direct. I was like, I don't know. We try and be pretty reasonable with these predictions.
Yeah, we're going to be pretty realistic.
People want to be told, you're getting the 3D Mario, you're getting the Animal Crossing, you're getting F-Zero, it's all Starfire, it's all happening, this is the one. Like, it's like, do you want to be given bad information? Or do you just want to be told there's a chance? Like, or do you want a more accurate view of what could actually be there? I don't know.
I kind of wonder if this is because of ChatGPT.
Huh?
Is this the ChatGPT?
Is that where you're getting your predictions now?
No, not at all. But I feel like there is a lot of like people now that sort of get confirmation biased.
Well, you can get that a lot of places.
You can get that a lot of places. You can get it in the forum themselves, right? You're like in there with a bunch of people that are going to
it's definitely happening.
Echo chamber. It's going to echo chamber you.
Yeah.
And then like with the whole like everyone's talking to a chatbot these days, which is highly concerning. But it's like, are they just like getting reinforced? Like you tell ChatGPT, like, is an Animal Crossing game going to be in the next Nintendo Direct? Like, yeah, that's definitely possible.
Oh no.
But yeah, it is very. Please don't do that. Yeah, be very careful with those chatbots. But I do think there is this idea of like people don't want to hear the truth. They want to be like gassed up.
Right.
And then, of course, when it doesn't happen, because they were so gassed up about it, when the 3D Mario, the Animal Crossing, the F-Zero doesn't get announced in a September Direct, they're very disappointed.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, okay, then I just got to pin my hopes in the next Direct. it's going to be in the next one.
Make or break.
And so it's a very that kind of mindset, I think, is a bit problematic, I think, for Nintendo themselves, because they're like, well, we can never satisfy this demand, you know?
Right. Meanwhile, like, yeah, I'm sure they're working on a new Animal Crossing. If it's coming out in, let's say, 2027, like, does it really matter if they announce it today versus if the game's still coming?
Yeah.
And the game is still working towards a specific date. So it's like at some point, maybe this is just me. I'm like, who cares? They're going to announce it when they announce it.
I actually would love to get an answer to this question. Would you rather Nintendo just announce everything all at once?
For the generation?
For the generation.
Here it is.
Yeah, here it is. Here's a list of games that we're going to be making for this generation. These are coming. These are going to be coming at different times. Maybe they don't tell you the exact time.
Full transparency.
Is that better?
Here it is. Here it is.
Is that better? Answer me. I would like to know. I would love to know.
It's interesting.
Then you won't be surprised. You won't have the, oh my God, hype train. Like, you won't have that moment, the pop off like I did with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
But you would know. Is that better? I'm just asking the question.
These leaks, though, are a problem.
These leaks are bad.
These leaks are really bad.
For Nintendo, they're really bad. Not for us.
They're happening all across the board. They seem to be happening earlier and earlier.
I mean, we knew about the September Direct like 3, almost 4 weeks prior.
Right.
Even though we didn't, I mean, we kind of anticipated a September Direct. We pretty much knew the exact date.
Yeah, the date, the exact date was pinpointed.
About a month before.
Yes.
Which was pretty
early. We have these leakers are they're playing games with people. I'm like, oh, the
777.
The 3 sevens, and then that's gets people all worked up into a tizzy.
It's like we're in that movie Saw. We're trapped in a horror film.
Right.
Where someone's toying with you, like a puppeteer. I don't like that.
Right. And then of course, Nintendo's not going to, confirm or deny. They're going to stick to their plan of doing their pre-promotion whenever they do it. But in a sense, the pre-promotion starts the first moment those credible leakers start to talk about it. That's when the pre-promotion actually begins in an unofficial way, and that's when the hype train gets out of control.
Yeah, and of course, the leaks do not help with the expectation management at all. Sometimes the leaks are very accurate, but sometimes you get really inaccurate stuff that kind of mixes in.
Yes.
You're getting misinformation mixed in with leaks that are not confirmed but are accurate, and now you're really people are getting confused on what's real and what isn't. Mm-hmm. And now they're okay, Animal Crossing is coming in this Direct. And then that completely leads to disappointment.
Right.
So yeah, it's becoming this this leak cycle. It's getting worse and worse as the days go by.
And then, let's look at the actual pre-promotion that they do, which is, again, largely the same as it's been for a long time now, where it's, Nintendo Direct is coming. They'll give you a little bit about the focus. They'll tell you roughly the length. And this is another thing that I'm I don't know if this is working as well as it can, because, why do we need to know the length?
Well, before, when we were working at Nintendo, we discussed the pre-promotion strategy to great lengths. And the whole idea of the way that the pre-promotion is done is it's always 24 hours in advance because you don't want people to spin on.
Sometimes, in this case, it was not 24 hours.
Well, because there was
there's things.
September 11th was in the
right. Sometimes they care about, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they care about, sometimes they don't. This time, I guess they cared about. I guess NOA convinced them. But yeah, they usually it's 24 hours in advance because the strategy is you don't want people to spin on this for too many days and too many hours, and you don't want them to just also forget about it, which they don't. No one forgets these days, but back in the day, people might be distracted by something else. And then the timing, roughly however long, was also to manage expectations, because if you say roughly 15 minutes, people know not to expect Animal Crossing to drop.
Okay, well then the exact opposite is what happened with this one, where it's roughly an hour, and it's I checked my calculation, I checked my spreadsheet, and it's the longest ever.
They done messed this one up.
Yeah.
See, this is what I would have done.
So why do we need this?
Well, again, before, when it's not an hour, or when it's less time, it does help to manage people.
Bring back the mini.
Oh, the mini.
Mini got phased out.
Oh, they didn't like the mini.
Bring it back.
This is what they should have done for this. They should have said that we're going to do the Mario Anniversary and the General Direct, and that's going to be 60 minutes. then people would have gotten off their stupid.
I just don't think you need to really get into that.
Because that was the only reason why this direct was 60 minutes.
Yes.
Is because 20 minutes of those 60 minutes was dedicated to Mario's 40th anniversary, which everybody knew was coming anyway, because that was literally that Saturday.
And leakers were saying it and all of the above.
So they should have just promoted it that way.
Right.
Like, we're going to celebrate Mario's 40th anniversary, and then we're going to roll into the general direct.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why this thing is roughly 60 minutes.
Right.
And that way people wouldn't have been like, 60 minutes of a general direct, I'm getting my 3D Mario game, definitely. And a 15-minute segment on that. It's like, well, you're not, because the reason why it's 60 minutes is because of Mario's 40th, and then the other part of it is the normal length of a direct, which is like 40 minutes. So they messed that up. They messed it up. The communication was bad. Because they tried to just follow the playbook.
It's the playbook,
they should have critically looked at in this instance.
I think this is one of the things that is in biggest need of a reevaluation.
Is the pre-promotion.
Is the pre-promotion.
I totally agree. Like,
do you need to pre-promote it at all? You just show up, boom, oh, it's out.
Because, before you need to pre-promote it because people would need to know. But now everyone...
Those happen sometimes. No pre-promotion, VOD, just here it is. A new Nintendo Direct is here.
Or do the thing that Pokemon does where you pre-promote it. If you're not going to
far in advance.
If you're not going to surprise people with the date anyway.
Right.
Well, what if it already know?
Well, what if it was like kind of like another riff on what you were saying with the launch dates, where it's like, here are Nintendo Directs for the year.
Exactly.
And I mean, maybe you just say the months.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, you might need some wiggle room.
On the date.
Yeah.
On the specific date.
Right.
And then maybe when you get closer, you can say, like, okay, the April Direct is happening on the 25th.
Right.
Whatever.
I mean, that probably spawns its own issues.
You have to commit.
Right. Right. But again, like, how would communities react with that much notice and that much understanding of the distance between? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
These are all questions for, like, how can they adjust this formula?
Right. Ultimately, this is something they have to solve.
Yeah, is it like you become fully transparent? Like, instead of focusing on the surprise and delight, which seemingly is impossible to do now and kind of comes to bite you in the butt sometimes because it causes disappointment, do you just become fully transparent? You just, here are the games for this generation. We already know what these are anyway.
Right.
Here is the directs for the year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be better. It could be worse. I don't know.
Yeah. I just think they also might need to, if the leaks are just a fact of life and a reality that like they
cannot control
in real time, like long term they can deal with it. Like immediately, like when the span of a month as they're happening, it might be harder for them to do. I do think they might need to just kind of factor that into the plan a little bit more. Like, again, when they did the first Switch 2 teaser, and it was like exactly what we had been told that the Switch 2 looked like and all the features. And
that was ridiculous.
Okay.
I looked back on that recently. I was in the Reddit threads where someone was like, based on leaks, I made this render. And the render was
exactly
100% accurate. I couldn't believe it. It was really unreal.
Right. So, like, does the content need to reflect that? Does the pre-promotion need to reflect the expectations that people have given the leaks? And in some sense, they don't want to do that because that's acknowledging, like, oh, this leak has impacted us, which they never want to do. It's like, no, we will win no matter what.
This is the stubbornness that they need to, like, they're not precious, but they're stubborn.
Right.
So it's like they do need to kind of acknowledge that, like, again, the world has changed. Now it's harder than ever to stem these leaks. It may be impossible to do so at this point. So they need to evolve the way that they're sharing this information, right? Because of the landscape of leaks. And these leaks are so interesting too, because true or false, they just get stuff into people's heads.
Yes.
Which I found to be extremely fascinating. So we were looking at Wood's video where he did basically like a social psychological experiment by putting a fake leak out there and tracking that leak to see how it permeates throughout communities. It was a little devious, but it was also very interesting to see how the human psyche like reacts to it. And I think that Animal Crossing game being in the next Nintendo Direct was from that fake leak.
Right.
But somehow that has now like wormed its way into people's heads.
Yeah.
And now everyone has latched onto this idea of this Animal Crossing game is coming now.
Right.
And obviously,
Even once you have been told, I made this up.
They don't care.
It's there.
Because it's in your head now.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it now. You've got a earworm of Animal Crossing in your head. And an Animal Crossing game is 100% coming in this generation. Let's not worried about that. No one here is worried about that.
Yeah.
100% they're making an Animal Crossing game.
Guaranteed.
For a Switch 2 generation. Guaranteed. The question is obviously when that's going to happen. And it may not be as soon as you would like. But it's definitely happening. So why are people still so mad when, it doesn't get announced immediately?
Even Wood himself, when he was going over the direct, he's like, yeah, I don't know. I just thought there might be an Animal Crossing. You did it to yourself.
He convinced himself.
You did it to yourself.
Oh,
you made this up, and then it got into your head. It was hilarious.
Isn't that? I'm telling the human mind is an enigma.
Is weak.
Is a puzzle wrapped in an enigma.
It is
It is
That's
very.
what it is.
Yeah. So there you have it. So we have some big questions like, what should Nintendo do?
Yeah, what should they do?
Yeah. I mean, they definitely need to, I think, number one, they need to rethink the pre-promotion formula.
Right.
I think they've done that for so long. And again, we were in the room when they developed that, we developed that strategy about how to do a pre-promotion around a direct. But the way that people view directs are so different now, you don't need to pre-promote it. Everyone's going to be watching this thing.
Exactly.
Anyway.
It's not like, oh, I don't know, should I watch this or not? I really need to
100% going to watch
think about this and look at what they're saying. No.
Yeah.
They have to recapture the surprise and delight. So I think they need to start doing some things that are a little unconventional to just keep people off balance and on their toes.
Yeah.
And we saw that like when, the couple things that they have dropped on Nintendo today, with the Zelda movie casting, like they did accomplish that through those. So I don't think, I'm certainly not going to say Nintendo Direct needs to go away, but it's like in addition to the big stuff, have some other smaller things happening in between that's going to keep people, because going back to the top, we need a way to consolidate all the announcements. The problem now is everything is consolidated.
Yes.
And there is nothing happening really in
between those big moments.
You need something happening in between.
Yeah.
So that keeps people on their toes, and then that takes the pressure off of the direct. It's like, look, they've been saying stuff, for the past couple months. I've been getting a steady stream of information instead of getting so pent up.
Yes.
I'm getting pent up at the pop.
Yeah. Exactly. I do feel like the long silences between the directs causes a lot of like bad feelings from people.
Yeah.
Because they are really pent up, and then like of course if the fill in the blank game is not there, they're like pow, explode in disappointment.
Right.
Because you have been silent for months.
Right.
And you're finally giving me 1 hour, one precious hour where I can pin my hopes and dreams on, the game that I hope to be released will be announced. And it's not there. But you've been silent for 6 months. How dare you? And then you're so mad. So I think that's unhealthy.
Right.
Like that the long silences, the basically no communication between directs. Like, please stop showing me a Mario silhouette. And this morning we looked at Nintendo today, and I almost raged through your phone out
because
the window.
Because you saw a fake tweet that was what was it?
Wario's aroma of the day. I was interested in that.
I was like, I'd like to see that. And it was a giant picture of Wario's butt.
With some fart clouds.
And I was like, I got to see this. And then I opened it up, and it was like, meet Princess Peach.
And I hated it.
And you were so mad.
Barf. Give us real news on Nintendo today.
Right. Just
little bits
out
and
of
pieces.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
The whole calendar, the formula of the spreadsheet of the September directs. Like you have to break. You have to break that cycle.
Break the cycle.
Break it.
Yeah.
So that people do not just walk into a certain time of the year of like, all right, where is it? Let's have it. I know it's coming.
And I need it to be big, and I need it to have all the games I hoped and dreamed for.
You have
because this is what you're training people to feel like.
You have to break that cycle. Yeah. And then I think you have to look at the pre-promotion and whether any pre-promotion is needed, because it just seems like anything you do now is the expectation is out of control.
Yeah.
Versus, the thing exists, I'm watching it, and now I can only react to that. Versus everything that's been going in my head for the past day, week, months, if there's a leak.
The conversation is also really interesting because like everyone's so fixated on fill in the blank, my game needs to be in there. Like even after the direct happens and people share that spreadsheet, with like the tens plus of games that Nintendo announced, people are unhappy. They're like, no, there's no games coming. There's no games coming. I'm like, how is that possible? There's like
a lot of games.
They announced like 10 plus games. There's a lot of games.
I dare you to play all these games.
I dare you to have enough money to buy all these games. Ooh,
I dare you.
You need like a second job.
But there are things that they used to do for directs that they don't do anymore. Like, it used to be like, hey IGN, we'll give you a preview of the direct so that we can be sure that you have your coverage up at the moment. Again, it was like we were trying to establish this. So it was like, what can we do to make sure that this is established? I feel like this pre-promotion is a remnant of that because they don't do that anymore. Like, IGN ain't seeing these directs anymore.
No, everyone's seeing it at the same time.
Because A, it's like we don't need them to see it. It's going to be huge, and B, it's like we're terrified of some leak, even though
leaks have already happened.
Even though leaks are happening all around us for weeks and months in advance.
Yeah, exactly. And this. Maybe the other ideas, what we were suggesting too, is like maybe it's instead of surprise and delight, it's just full transparency.
Sure.
If you've lost the battle, if you concede, you wave the white flag on the surprise and delight battle because everyone has figured out your formula, everyone has leaked everything. Everyone is really mad at you because you have not said anything for months, even though things have leaked and you refuse to confirm them. Maybe you get in front of all of that and just be fully transparent.
Yeah. What's an interesting thing about this number of views and how it was, beating the Apple conference, beating all these other streams. I remember that we were in a meeting, I forget what meeting, it might have been one of these global PR meetings or whatever, and we were like, gosh, Nintendo Direct got big, but here we have these ideas of how we can make it even bigger.
Yeah.
And the response back was really interesting. It was, we actually don't want everybody to watch Nintendo Direct.
Right.
This isn't for everybody.
This is for Nintendo
This is for
fans.
dedicated
Nintendo
fans. And I think that the audience of dedicated Nintendo fans is very big right now.
And broad.
Big and broad. You have a new system. You have a lot of people who have it, who are excited, who are looking for new content.
Yeah. You also had an old system that really expanded your audience too.
Right. But that kind of reinforces what we were saying at the top of the number going up is not the goal.
No.
It is what is the positive engagement.
Correct.
From the people who see it, taking the action, the follow-up actions that we want after seeing it.
Right.
That is the cycle that they're interested in.
That was the original intent.
Right.
That was the original intent that Mr. Iwata wanted to do with these,
Right.
was to surprise and delight people so much with information directly from Nintendo that they would walk away 100% satisfied and happy. And I don't think that's where we are now.
And they also told us, we probably won't be doing these forever.
That's right. That's right.
And I was, when they said it, I was kind of on the edge of my seat of
are you telling me tomorrow we're ending this?
And this is happening? It was nothing was happening, but
Yeah.
it was just the mindset was well, this works for us now, but
if it doesn't work for us,
we have to be ready to walk out the door.
If it becomes
immediately.
If it becomes something that is not working to meet those goals.
Right.
Or maybe the goals have changed.
It's like that speech from Robert De Niro in Heat.
Do not be afraid to walk out the door if you feel the heat on your back.
Something like that, If they feel the heat, they're walking out on these directs. But I don't know. I don't know if that's still the mindset. That was years ago.
That was a long time ago, but the directs, obviously germinated at that time, and now we're in a different place in time, and so I do think they're still talking about discussing what the best approach forward is for these, but hard to reconcile, for sure. You're seeing huge numbers, you're seeing just all of this excitement for the directs, and then you see mixed sentiment around the announcement. So it is a hard ball of of stuff.
This has been one of the themes of this generation so far, is just these dueling thoughts that do not make sense, but somehow exist.
Hard to reconcile.
Somehow exist at the same time.
Yeah.
That nobody, very hard to explain.
Yes.
The phenomenon.
That's what we had to spend 1 hour, whatever, talking about it, because it's hard for us to reconcile them as well.
Yeah.
Really hard for us to reconcile too.
Anyway, tune in next week for our big preview of the January Nintendo Direct.
Predictions,
reactions. We're doing our predictions next week. Yes, look forward to it. Let's move on to some games we are playing. Last week, we recorded our podcast right after the Direct, so we had some really light impressions of the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, the DK Island and Emerald Rush expansion. But I've been playing that more. Have you gotten this yet?
I have not gotten this
Why
yet.
not?
Because I was finishing Metroid
Because you
Dread.
refused to pay for content that was cut? out of the game?
I'm wondering how long you'd be playing yours, and if I could just play your Switch.
Oh, you want a virtual game card?
Can I have the DLC via?
I can do that. I can share just DLC.
I would love that.
Through a virtual game card.
That might be better.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's that big.
Well, I don't know. So.
Well, you need to be playing Metroid as well. I beat that game. So can you just give me your DLC for 2 days?
That's what I've been trying to get at with this is like, what actually is the scope of this? And it's been interesting to find out. So there is kind of two chunks of this in the title. You know, there's the Donkey Kong Island, which is this new area. And then there's the Emerald Rush mode, which is this kind of like, roguelite, run-based thing where you're trying to get the high score and getting all these...
You meet all these quotas.
Modifiers and multipliers and special abilities and all of that. The Emerald Rush side is definitely the more substantial part of it.
Yeah.
By a lot.
DK Island is pretty small.
Yeah, after giving like a proper exploration of DK Island, it's cool. It looks cool. I like how they've recreated all of these places. There's not just on its own a ton to do there.
Yeah.
Like there's not dedicated missions that you're doing. There's not more bananas that you are getting. It's just kind of a place to run around.
Yeah, explore the environment.
And it is kind of the hub for Emerald Rush because you know, you can unlock these statues, and that's where Void Kong is, and that's where you get the job. And you can do the Emerald Rush mode there, but you can also do it on all the other layers. You have to unlock the ability to do that the more you play it. So it's like DK Island is level 1 for Emerald Rush, but eventually you can do it. I don't know if you can do it on every layer, but you can do it on a lot of different layers, which is cool. And it gets trickier and trickier. But Emerald Rush, I'm pretty impressed with that mode.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. There's a lot of depth. Even I'm like still trying to figure out like all of the rules of it and just kind of like the flow of it, because typically I can pretty easily get through the first, it happens in waves. So it's like, all right, in this period of time, try and get this many emeralds. And the first couple of them are no problem. It's like kind of a cakewalk. Something I like is if you go over the quota.
It like carries over.
It carries it over to the next one.
It's in your benefit to do as much as you can.
Because at first I was like, well, why would I get one more emerald if I already met the quota?
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here. But it's like, no, you should do that because you're getting a head start.
You're going to need it to help you later when it gets hard.
Right, you're getting a head start on the next run, but it does start to escalate, and they kind of show you a graph.
The graph is cool.
It's kind of exponential, like how many you need. So the challenge does really ratchet up. Also, like in Kid Icarus Uprising, there's a slider for the difficulty.
Okay.
So you can customize like how hard you want it to be, and as you go further down the slider, like they take away like you don't get the transformations if you go a couple down the slider.
Ooh.
So those are things. So you have to buy back a lot of things on the skill tree.
Right.
So you get the chips, the emerald chips, and what. You can go directly into the skill tree and everything is unlearned. You have to relearn some of that stuff. Or sometimes you'll find an emerald banana, break it. You'll get a specific skill.
You can choose
out
which
of that.
Skill you get back.
Right. So you are kind of starting from, you're building your Kong back up of like, oh my gosh, I need this bonanza.
It's like the Hades formula.
Right.
Where like you get these power-ups as you go through.
Right, because you might be thinking like, oh, well, piece of cake. I've got, the elephant transformation, so I'm just going to transform and suck everything up. Like, no, you don't have that.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get to the point where you can buy that, you can get all those power-ups for that, and then maybe you can be doing fine, but I don't know, it's just going to get harder and harder. So they've really thought this through.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Some people have been saying like, well, we got the... In Odyssey, we got the Luigi's balloon, whatever.
That was junky.
It's like, oh, that was pretty flimsy stuff. That was free.
Oh, it's free.
There wasn't a lot to that.
That was pretty flimsy, I thought.
Yeah.
That's not this. This is a full-fledged game mode.
Right. And a lot of people are asking themselves now, like, well, is it worth $20? Again,
do you think it's worth $20?
That's always a personal preference kind of thing.
For you?
I think it's going to come down to, do you like those kind of run-based games?
Yeah.
Because, again, there's not a lot to do on DK Island besides...
looking around.
Look at it and poke around and stare at the Candy Kong poster. I mean,
I punched it off the wall so fast.
That might be worth $20 right there. I don't know. I don't know.
Give Candy Kong your $20.
Just saying. I'd say for me, yes, but I could see for others, like if you're just expecting more of Donkey Kong Bonanza, this is not more of what you've been playing. This is something that's completely that I didn't even. But again, I didn't even know. I was like, who would have thought that they would do something like this?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
In Donkey Kong. So I think it's cool. the fact that you can do it on all the other layers.
It's a good idea.
And you do kind of need to like remember the layout too. Because
Yeah.
at certain point, you're like, well, I broke all the stuff here. Where do I go now to find some more emeralds? So you do need to know the layout of the map.
It gives you like a
little bit.
reason to go back and explore
Right.
those layers again,
Right,
which
right.
is probably what they want you to do,
Right.
is spend more time in that world.
And I think
right?
I saw they're doing some like limited time events where it's like, oh, you can get this statue if you do the Emerald Rush. It's like, oh, that's kind of neat. I don't know how often, I'll be coming back just for those, but it's neat. But
Cool.
it's one of those things though where it's like, yeah, you could. It's totally 50-50. Like I can understand arguments
I
either way.
feel like I would just borrow yours.
Sure.
I don't think I need to pay $20 for this guide. I don't think I'd play it for that long. I played it
Fine.
initially when
Yeah.
you got it,
Yeah.
the day of the direct,
Uh-huh.
and then that was really fun, but it was like 20 minutes.
Right.
And then, yeah, I think if I just played it for like another hour or two,
Yeah.
I'd be good.
Yeah, I think if the DK Island had, a proper
Yeah,
set of objectives
Yeah.
like the other layers, then
Yeah.
it would be a slam dunk.
exactly. But I'm glad that we can share the DLC
Yeah.
like that. That's cool. Like
Only one thing at a time, though.
that's okay.
You're greedy.
Well, you already,
need this, I
you
need
already
this, gimme.
You already rescinded my discounty.
Yeah, at least I can do that. Unlike certain things that you have, like a Rhythm Heaven or now a Dark Souls, I can't hit a rescind button and just whoop, those things shoot into
rescind
my
my-
hand like Thor's hammer.
I'm gonna rescind my
The Rhythm Heaven
friendship.
just fly, bust through the. I have it now.
You will never get
Like
it back.
Thor's hammer.
On my deathbed, you will get it back.
You played a game called Henry Halfhead. What the heck is that?
I did. This is a game that you and I first.
The heck is that?
This is a game that we both first
A long time ago.
played a long time ago at a summer game fest. This is a multiplayer game. I was playing the single player.
It
game.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. It was that long ago.
It's more fun in multiplayer, I think. But anyways, this game is zany. You are half of a head,
What half?
the top half, like this half, nose
So
up,
there's no jaw. There's no mouth.
You're like flat. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're just like bouncing around on your half of a head. But you can do this thing where you can possess items.
Ah, yes.
So you can like possess different items and then like move those things around. There's kind of a list of different challenges that you have to do. You're in this house. And it's a very like comical, funny, surreal, kind of weird game where you start out as like a baby, half-headed baby, Henry. And you're in your crib. And then you have to like rock yourself out of the crib, and then you have all these toys all around you. And this like British guy tells you a story. He's like, Henry's parents gave him blocks. Build the blocks, Henry. And then you like become the block, and you build like a block. It's like the challenge is to build up a tower this tall.
Is this more or less British than Thank Goodness You're Here?
It's similarly British, but thank goodness you're here is like very northern England humor.
Yeah.
I think this is more like generic British.
Generic
I don't
British.
know what
Somebody's
that
going
even
to be
means.
mad at
Someone's
that.
gonna be mad. There's no giant sausage in this one yet.
Not yet. That you know of.
There's no fish, but yeah, it's actually like so it's kind of puzzly. You're doing different things.
Right.
Like there's this part where it was like you can't make noise because your parents are going to hear you, so you have to like but you have to play like the xylophone or something like that. So you had to like move the xylophone to like behind this thing and then like very quietly like play the xylophone. Yeah, but it's just like a bunch of these little challenges that you do throughout this little house that you're in, and it's really fun. It's really like it's just kind of like zany and hilarious.
So the multiplayer, which I've played, remind me how that works?
It's like you and I are both half of a head, I believe, and then we can like do
Do we
stuff
combine
together.
to make a whole head?
No.
Oh.
Like there was a part where we played where it's like make a coffee, and then like you had to be the cup, and then I had to be the button to push the button to make the coffee. So like you had to work together. We should try it again in co-op mode because it's really fun. Yeah.
This game is out now?
It's out now.
This game is out now.
So on Switch
You
and
played on
others
Switch. Yes.
and other platforms.
Okay. I have been playing Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. This is something that our friends at Way Forward sent over, so why don't you check it out? So I did.
Nice.
And one of the reasons I did is because I admit I'm really not very knowledgeable about the Shantae series, and at this point it's been around for a really long time.
It really has.
So
There's
I was
like
like,
a
you know what, I
pretty-
should really get to know this series a little bit more because it's got a big fan base and just stood the test of time. So this game in particular has a really interesting backstory that I was not aware of, again, as somebody who does not follow the series. So This is technically the second game in the Shantae series. The first game, I believe, was a Game Boy Color game. And after that, they started working on a sequel. But then they started like taking it around to like retailers and like publishers, and they're like, we don't want this. Nobody wanted it.
Oh no.
So they're like, well, we got this game that we've gotten kind of far into. Like, what do we do with it? So they just kind of sat on it. It's a Game Boy Advance because it's Shantae Advance. They had this GBA game that was really far along. And they're like, well, we have this game that we think is cool. Let's just wait. And maybe one day the timing will be right.
And that's the one day is now?
They finally released it. Yeah, this is out now.
Oh my gosh.
So again, I had played it a little bit, and then I went back and read some of the info. I was like, wait, this is not what I thought it was.
That's so interesting.
So that's a really interesting backstory.
So it has the Game Boy style, like chunky pixel graphics.
It has Game Boy Advance style graphics.
Okay.
So you can choose like what mode you want to do. They're not super different. There's one where it's just like straight GBA graphics, and then there's, I forget what they call it, a more modern mode where the menus look nicer, like when somebody's talking, like a nice character portrait pops up, like HD character portrait pops up. The game itself still looks like a Game Boy
game.
Advance game either way, but it's kind of more in the presentation of it. So yeah, that's a really interesting detail, and maybe something people, it's less of a factor these days, but like these retailers had a big say in like what games came out.
Right.
Back
That
then.
was like back in
Maybe
the day.
we should have Sean back on to talk about that.
We should. That'd be fun.
Because if a retailer's like, yeah, I'm not stocking this. I don't believe in this. Like
And you're like kind of out of luck a little bit.
like before the days of eShops
Digital
and whatever. It's like
storefronts.
okay, I guess I can't do this.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal, and that's what happened with this game. So the game itself is it's a 2D game. It's kind of a action platformer, I would describe it. And Shantae's main action is I think she's a genie.
Yes.
She can attack with her hair. Very
Ponytail.
similar to an old
Bayonetta.
NES game called, I think, Kabuki Quantum Fighter, which I would always stare at this. I never owned it. I would stare at this in Nintendo Power. It's like, attack with your hair. I thought, that's interesting. But that's exactly what Shantae can do. And as you go along, you get these like magical transformations that let you get around the world. So I got one that lets me transform into a crab, because previously she can't really swim very well. So there would be like, I need to go down under this water and come out on the other end. It's like, I can't do that. But then I became the crab, and I could sink to the bottom and then switch out, and then
It's kind of like a Metroid game.
It's got some Metroid stuff to it.
Vania-ish to it.
There's also one area that I did, and I guess this game has more of these, that I thought was very interesting, where there's like foreground and background, and you could kind of go in between them, and there's like 2 layers of things happening on the stage, like different enemies, different things.
That's kind of cool.
But you reach these points where you actually can like manipulate the background, like rotate it or like move it around. So it's like, well,
That's clever.
I need to get to this place that's now inaccessible until I get to the switch that repositions the entire background, and now I can.
That's clever.
I was like, that's very clever.
Because you have like old Donkey Kong games, you can go like
you can do it
from the foreground to the background.
right, but this has this whole other element of manipulating
of
the
actually
background.
like moving it around. That's
Exactly.
very cool.
Exactly, that's very cool.
It's a puzzly element.
Plays really well, like really nice platforming, good action. I think there's a lot of those transformations.
Playing on Switch 2?
I'm playing on Switch 2. I think this is out on a lot of other things. I would say at the beginning the game's a little chatty. A little chatty when I kind of wanted to get going.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I finally gave one of these games a proper shot. It's pretty cool.
Nice. There's a really big fan base.
There's a lot of these games.
There was our good friend Chris Slate, host of the now canceled
previous
Nintendo Power podcast, was the world's biggest Shantae fan.
He was, yes. That's true.
He
I was going back into my memory bank.
Truly the world's biggest Shantae fan.
Yeah.
Like he played like every single one of those games. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
Fun.
Last thing I have been checking out is, oh boy, I'm going to have to remember how to say this.
Wizardom?
I think it's Wizardom.
Wizardom.
Yes, not Wizardom.
Not Wizardom.
No.
Wizardom.
But our friends over at Apogee, so we did that. I was talking about Turbo Overkill recently.
yeah.
And they're like, hey, we got another boomer shooter. You seem to like those.
That's right.
Why don't you check this one out? And this was actually a game that I had on my Steam wishlist for
like ever.
For a really long time. But it's a good coincidence because the game just came out on consoles.
Nice.
So I'm playing it on Switch 2 via Switch 1 game. And this is, I would call this Doom meets Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
So it's like a medieval setting, very fantasy oriented setting, but it is a boomer shooter. Like it's first person.
You got a gun
It's
in
first,
the medieval
No,
times?
you've got a magic wand. You go pew 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 pew, and there's a couple different classes that you can pick. So there was one. I think it was a cleric. You got a big mace, but eventually you get these like magic rings, so you can shoot magic. That's like limited time, but you can also just go in and melee.
Okay.
And then I tried out this other magic class that has a wand, and it started with fireballs, and then I got a ice wand that was more like a machine gun. It shot fast, but then I could do this cool move, like, and then they would freeze.
And then you like fire them.
And then I could do just like, you shatter the glass. You just do this. You just see this guy.
That's why an ice mage is always my
yes.
mage of choice.
That was cool.
Ice mage is the most powerful mage.
Right, but like any good boomer shooter, it's fast.
Good.
It has to be fast.
Yeah, you need that action, that rock and roll,
Yes.
fast action.
Right. And there's like, in those older shooters, like there is a lot of puzzling out the stage. And this actually has a lot of that of like, oh, this door's locked. How do I unlock it? I got to find a secret. I found the key. Or there's a lot of other things that you can see that are out of sight that it's like, well, if you're good and you know where to look, maybe you'll find it, but maybe you won't. And that'll be a good reason for you to come back. They also give you a lot of like speed running options, like,
that's cool.
Can you beat this time?
Yeah.
And I was not playing it that way, but I could see that being cool because of how fast the game moves.
Yes. You can always redo the stages too.
Yeah,
right?
ran super well. I think the art style is really interesting. Like there was, remember that viral like AI thing that was going around of like, oh, we made this dark fantasy first person game, and everybody's like,
oh yeah,
oh, that looks cool. And it's like, oh, it's made by AI.
And everyone's like, I hate this.
Right.
Yeah.
This looks somewhat like that because it's got the same kind of first person. It's not as detailed, but it's got that kind of like pixely, but very colorful.
Yeah.
It's not dark like a lot of the boomer shooters.
Yeah.
It's very colorful fantasy.
I like that.
This game's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm into these boomer. I like these boomer shooters.
Well, you're a boomer.
I'm not a boomer. I'm an elder millennial. How dare you? I'm not a boomer.
Very elder.
I'm not a boomer.
You're on the cusp. Speaking of boomer activities,
What?
Virtual
Metroid?
Boy.
You beat it.
Oh, I beat Metroid, yes.
Good for you. Another 45 hours in the books.
It wasn't 45. I have receipts.
Good. Virtual.
10 hours.
Yeah, I got receipts too. I'll show them to you. Virtual Boy. We did a poll with our Patreon community.
This is the best.
So I was curious, is anybody going to get this?
$100.
Yeah, so if you want the actual recreation of the original thing, that's $100. Apparently it's less other places.
In
Because
Canada is a little bit less.
This is a tariff
We have a tariff.
situation. So let's look at the results of this poll. We give people all the different options. 35% said, yes, I'm getting the replica of the original system. That's
Is
$100.
the size exactly
Yeah.
the same as
Yeah.
the original system?
Yeah.
Okay.
7% said I'm getting the cardboard model, the
Try it
little
out.
dinky Labo
Yeah.
version.
Just to try out
How
the
much was
games.
that?
$24.99.
24. Okay.
Yes.
And then 58% said no. Somebody was disappointed that I did not have an option of getting both. Strictly for sickos.
Who's that 1%?
I applaud that though. I appreciate
All
that.
right,
I
good
think
stuff.
I might be one of those sickos.
You're getting both?
Well, there's a question here that made me question the need to get both. We'll get to that. Waffles says I'd gladly pay. Waffles says I'd gladly pay $100 to check the games out and have a showpiece versus spending $500 to $1,000 for a real one that would serve the same purpose. That's how I feel.
That's how you feel. Yes.
David Williams of Conky Gamers says only horrible thing about NSOs, these items are not available to order in places like South Africa. It would be great if everyone that had NSO was able to get these.
Oh,
that's
the
a bummer.
bummer. Do you have to
And you have to have this. You can't play this without it.
DIY.
Or what do these games look like if you?
Is it like doubled
It
image?
must be. I guess
Like
it's a doubled image.
Yeah. What if you put on regular 3D glasses?
Well, here, let's read this next comment. This is food for thought here. Dexter S says, I voted cardboard model, and here's why. One of the things nobody talks about the cardboard model is it could be a replacement for Labo VR that works with the VR modes of Breath of the Wild and Odyssey and Labo VR on the Switch 2. I saw a picture of the lenses and it looks like Labo VR lens with no red tint, so it could work really well. It's by default the best deal. But I've also seen people saying like, oh, I'm just going to put this in my Labo VR. Would that work?
Maybe. Do you still have your Labo VR?
I do, but a Switch 2 does not fit into that, I think.
You can modify the cardboard part maybe to make a Switch 2 fit. Hack the Labo VR.
Is there any difference to this?
I don't know.
Versus Labo VR?
I don't know.
You can save yourself $24.
I don't know.
I really like Labo VR.
I don't know. People might have thrown their Labo into the trash, into the recycling.
And you were really advocating for some very dangerous activity of like grind your own lenses.
No, I just said we could DIY our own.
I'm not.
Can you not buy those lenses separate, like just as a part?
I don't know. What are those lenses? And then what is the part that is red? Is it the lens?
The lens is tinted.
Or is it the image from the Switch that's red?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Lastly, Cerulean Dragon says, no, it's way too expensive to ask people to pay a sub to spend $25 to $100 on a mandatory accessory. Meanwhile, as they're talking about how this accessory is required, the Direct is playing 2D footage of the same game that looks perfectly serviceable. Why can't I play in 2D? It's a fair question.
Can you play in 2D?
We don't know. What if there was? What if it's like, oh, you bought this, but guess what? There's a mode to just switch it to 2D. Because it's true, what the footage they showed us in the Direct is just of a 2D game.
Because they had to do that.
But what if that's an option? Of like play in 3D with one of these accessories or just play it normally in 2D? Because a lot of these games, it's like you can still play it, no problem.
Right.
It's just a little additional visual flourish.
Yeah, and it's like a piece of history,
Right.
gaming hardware history.
But how many of these 42%, what if you found out after the fact, oh, you didn't need this?
But I don't think those people are buying it because they're gonna. They're more so interested in having this as a display, as a collector's item again, just like the Amiibo.
Well, if you're getting the cardboard model, maybe not.
Well, the cardboard model wasn't very many people.
7%.
7%.
It might be an angry 7%. You just upset that 7%.
You did spend
Won't change my mind.
$25.
Won't change my mind.
Because you said that you want to display it.
I do. I
There you
definitely
go.
do. You.
Me?
Every day you try and talk me out of this, and I'm telling you the way out. You buy me a Virtual Boy then. You drop the $500 to $1,000 if you don't want me to do this so much, if you hate this idea so much. Put your money where your mouth is.
I do think it's better if you wanted to display something to have the real one versus it being like a replica.
Nobody's going to know.
You will know. I'll know.
That doesn't matter to me.
People here will know.
And?
Well, I'm saying that you have you have a fake.
Okay, fine. Let's get into the news. Not a ton of news since we had such a big news section last week.
Yeah.
But we do have some additional details on some games that were in the Direct that are interesting to look at. So let's talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on the Switch 2. So we got the launch date in the Direct, January 22nd. There's some really interesting other tidbits that came out after the fact. This game is $40.
That's a good price.
That's an excellent price.
That's cheaper than the Kirby Amiibo.
Yes, it is.
I'm just saying.
If you get the physical edition, it has a nice reversible cover. Mm-hmm. It includes a pack of these magic cards,
We've been seeing them around. Yes,
I think these are like a hot item, so that's actually like a really nice pack-in.
Yeah.
It is a game key card, but the file size is 88 gigs.
How is that? Oh, because this game was on 2 discs.
So, no, the sequel.
Oh, Rebirth was on 2
Rebirth
discs.
was
this on 1 disc?
Put it on 2 cards.
Oh my god.
On 2 game cards. It costs $150.
Then it will not be cheaper than a Kirby Amiibo.
So, we did that video last week about Star Wars Outlaws. Like, they had an interesting reason why they had to do a game key card. This game also has its own interesting reason.
What is the reason?
Well, it doesn't fit.
Oh, it's too big.
The 64 gigs is the one size of the physical cartridge.
That's right.
So their option was game key card.
Or no physical.
2 cards,
cards.
which is insane.
And expensive.
Or digital only.
Yeah.
So, okay, I understand.
Fair.
And
you do get the intermission.
Yes.
Which I actually didn't play that.
I haven't played that either, actually.
Maybe I should play it now.
Yeah. I think that's...
Can I jump directly to it?
That's available on other platforms too.
That's true.
Which you already own.
That's true, yeah.
So you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also are adding these new features, which I don't know if everybody is going to use these, but I think they're interesting. So they're calling them new streamlined progression features. Mm-hmm. and this is going to be in, this game's also coming to Xbox. I imagine they're also going to be a patch to add this to the PS5 or PS4
whatever, yeah.
versions of it. So this will make your game easier. Always have maximum HP and MP.
Oh my gosh.
Always deal 9999 damage.
Well, then you're just
enemies.
gonna rip through them.
And always have max number of items, with some exception. What are the exceptions? I don't know.
I need my Mako.
What are the exceptions? So, a lot of the re-releases of Final Fantasy games have these like really extreme accessibility options that are basically like,
Just blow through it.
don't die, play the game super fast. So it's kind of interesting to see them applying this to a more recent release.
I think they like to give people a reason to replay. I
Totally.
think that's the angle,
Right.
which I think is great because
Right, I think this is cool.
yeah,
actually.
it makes it like so for someone that like us, we've played this game.
Right, but if
to
you're
death.
just like, gosh, I just want to, experience the story again.
Yeah.
Kind of in the flow
I want
of
to
the
own
game.
it in my Switch library because I want to add to that library. I want to experience this on my Switch.
Right.
Great way to do it.
They're really trying to get to get some heat back on Final Fantasy. You can tell.
You can tell. Yeah, they're
Like,
working
especially
hard. They're working hard.
the interminable around the world tour that poor man Yoshi P. Like that man has not slept in his own bed.
Now he has to do the
in years.
Now he has to do the
In
Monster
years.
Hunter crossover
No, he's
too.
like, I'm at Gamescom, then I'm giving the keynote at PAX. Oh, now I'm showing up at this thing. They're like, you're going to be
man.
traveling until you make this work, buddy.
Oh, maybe he can get some ramen to like
Yes.
fortify him.
Come out here and have some ramen with us.
Yeah, with us, we'll help
Yes. Does this change your mind? I think we had both said that we were not getting this version. Does this entice you?
I probably still won't do the physical. I don't think I need the magic cards or anything like that. But I am kind of enticed to get. The ice cream truck is here.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm kind of enticed to get this because it's very inexpensive to get this on my Switch.
The price is fantastic.
The price is really
like
good.
this could have been $60.
And I was thinking recently
$70,
that
I don't know.
if I had a moment, I would like to replay this game
Okay.
because I kind of forgot what happened.
Yeah.
And I know that we have more years to wait before the third and final installment of this series comes out, but it'd be nice to to get a refresher on the story for this and for Rebirth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, $40 is a really
It's awesome.
This is what I'm saying. Like this is the difference between someone going like absolutely not so expensive I can't even consider it
Yeah.
to like I might double dip.
You know what this is?
What?
This is variable pricing. In action.
Well, from a third party,
We
not
have a-
from a Nintendo.
We have a question about variable pricing later.
This is from a third party.
That's a warm up for you.
Square Enix.
I'm aware. Good job, Square Enix. You get some props for this. This is well done.
Golf clap for you.
Let's move on to Mario Galaxy 1 and 2.
Aha!
Another game from the Direct.
This game is also $40.
That individually they're $40.
Yeah.
$70. And it's not even a Switch 2 game. It's just a Switch game that's $70. So now we have Tears of the Kingdom and this are the two $70 Switch games.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Well, you get two games at least.
Sure. But it's not, when you pick up the box, it does not say Nintendo Switch 2. It says
Correct.
Nintendo Switch.
Yes. Fine.
Indeed. So some more little details have been trickling out about what exactly is new in this. So let's go through and see, again, if we want to change our minds. So upgraded visuals, yes, we kind of knew that. They said there's a 4K patch
Yes.
on the Switch 2.
Okay.
There is an assist mode to help you out, taking a page out of Final Fantasy's book. Play with more health, heal just by standing still, and return to solid ground if you fall into space.
Whoops.
Turn it on and off whenever you want. Okay. Enjoy an additional chapter of Rosalina's picture book in Mario Galaxy and discover an entirely new picture book tale in Mario Galaxy 2. Is this all going to be in the physical book?
I hope so.
Did you pre-order that yet?
No.
You can't.
I know, but I'll just get it when I get it.
It's going to sell out.
It's not going to sell out.
All right. Listen to the soundtrack of each game from the main menu. 154 tracks in all.
Is this music in... It is. It's in Nintendo Music.
They just added Galaxy 2.
Yeah, they just added Galaxy 2.
Galaxy
That's right.
1?
Not there yet.
Not yet.
Galaxy 2 has some
That-
great tracks,
That might be
though.
next week.
Amazing tracks.
Really good.
Like, unreal.
Yes.
Anyways.
So listen to it in the game or on Nintendo Music.
Yeah.
Or on YouTube, I don't care. There's this other interesting thing
I
about
don't
mouse controls.
Yeah, mouse controls.
Mouse controls.
Yeah, we
okay.
were wondering if they would use the mouse controls for Star Bit.
Star bits. or the multiplayer mode,
Yes,
kind of assist
the
mode.
little assist mode, yeah.
Right. And last but not least, there's a new font. Thank goodness.
What was the old font?
Thank goodness we have updated the font. Perfect.
What was the old font? It was kind of like bubbly, like Disneyland.
I don't remember.
The Disneyland logo.
I mean, I think it's just like a better,
More readable.
better for HD graphics
I see.
font.
Boring.
So this is more than they did in the 3D All-Stars version of Galaxy. Obviously, 3D All-Stars didn't have Galaxy 2.
Right.
So I think I was weighing in as I am not getting this. I don't actually know what you were weighing in on. So please
I
do
was
that.
waffling because I like you, I have Galaxy 1 already from 3D All Stars.
Yeah. You don't have a way of playing Galaxy 2.
That's true. I don't have a way to play Galaxy 2. So I may have to bite the bullet and get this.
On what? The 2-pack or the individual?
No, just the individual.
Just Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that. I might do that just to replay this game a bit. I would like to have it.
Yeah. My position is I have Galaxy 2 on Wii and I want to replay it on that. And,
Okay.
and I'll go into more details why. This is not some shove it in Nintendo's face. This is not I'm protesting, I'm boycotting, anything like that. It strictly comes down to what is the better experience of playing this game.
The controls.
This is a Wii game, and it's true for this game and with a lot of other games. Wii games just are best to play on the Wii. I did not like the implementation of the motion controls
That's true.
in Galaxy 1 and 3D All-Stars. Either you're playing with a Joy-Con, which just it did not have the responsiveness.
It's true.
And you're always having to recenter it and all that, versus the sensor bar and the Wii remote just
works really well.
it just works better. And there was also the option of playing with a Pro controller, but you were constantly doing...
It was weird.
It was uncomfortable.
It was kind of uncomfortable, yeah.
Right, so...
I wonder if they are going to redo the controls a little bit. Maybe the mouse is the way to go. I don't know.
I mean, I know it's kind of fundamental to what this game is, but if I could just remove that whole element of I'm getting the star bits...
Or like
with the pointer.
It's just that thing where the Starbucks get like sucked into you.
Right, can I get like a Donkey Kong
Kinda
move?
like a Donkey
where
Kong
I
move,
push a
yeah.
button and they just come towards me? Like that action, if I have to, as long as I have to do that, I'm going to be playing this game on the Wii.
Yeah.
Because I've tried it on a Switch and I didn't really like it.
That action is tough on a Switch.
Right.
I agree.
It's a game. Yeah, these games that were made for the Wii, they're just a little bit. They're, as they say, built different. Than all the other games.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it there. I actually think the visuals of that game on the Wii actually still kind of hold up.
It holds up really
pretty well. It's like one of
Yeah.
the best looking Wii games, and there is something.
It's just the style of the game.
That's very-
makes it easy for it to hold up.
Right. So I totally get that not everybody has a Wii or nobody can go buy it.
Some people say that they've missed this game too, so
Sure.
they can play it for the first
yeah,
time
or
on
maybe,
a Switch.
or
That's
maybe
fine.
you weren't born when this game came out.
That's
or
true. You were
something
not
like
born
that.
yet,
So
yes.
I'm not trying to like poo-poo this version.
Yeah.
It's just like the way that I want to experience it. I think that's the ideal way.
I do wish it was a little bit more reasonably priced though. I'm a little gutted to be shelling out $40 for this game.
Well, you paid $40 for Metroid Prime Remastered,
True.
which was
I
a
did.
GameCube game,
I did.
an even older, more
Yeah,
archaic
it's true.
game. What's the difference? A lot of people have been saying that. What's the difference between this and Metroid Prime Remastered?
Did they do more Metroid Prime? I don't know.
They did, yeah.
They did more.
I think they did. I mean, that seemed to me like they rebuilt that game
Yeah, that's what
from
it
the
felt.
ground
It felt
up.
like that to me too.
versus-
I don't know, if this will feel like they rebuilt this game or if it feels like a straight up port. I don't know, but there's something about Metroid Prime. Me playing that game made me feel like, oh yeah,
Right.
this is it's super like upgraded.
Speaking of Metroid Prime, this new mouse mode. So we don't know exactly how this works, but what if it's something where left Joy-Con in the hand, other on the mouse on the table? You had a hard time doing that with
hard,
Metroid
yeah.
Prime 4.
It's really hard.
With the amount of jumping that you have to do in
I don't know if I can do it.
I'm not sold on that as a viable way to play this
I'll
game.
try it. I'll try anything once,
And then
at least once.
you're getting the mouse, so you're
We
jumping,
even,
you're long
we even
jumping.
put a mouse desk
We got it.
pad.
We're ready now.
We got it. We got one from Sega for Shinobi.
We now have the ridiculous setup.
Yeah, I'm excited
From
though
Gamescom.
because I want to. I want to give it a fair shot.
Great.
I
You can
do want to
you
give
can
it a
live in the
fair
office
shot.
for a week and 100% Metroid Prime 4.
No, I want to do it with Mario Galaxy.
Okay. You can
try
stay
it.
here for a week. I'll be going home. I'll see you later. See you in the morning.
It comes really soon.
Bleary-eyed.
I'm like sleeping in the office. I'm waking up just
I'm
to play
surrounded
more.
by Lumas.
Oh, I would love
Yeah.
to be surrounded by Lumas. That
Yeah.
sounds fun. Okay.
Okay. Last, this isn't. I don't know if this is news, but this is an
We
interesting.
were interested
thing
in this because
to,
of our old jobs.
There's an
PR.
interesting. It's an interesting thing that happened. So maybe you saw this, maybe you didn't. A new game that's coming out soon is Silent Hill F, and I guess copies for that are out for review. We don't have one. We don't know. We don't need one. We're scared.
Oh yeah, no, I can't play this game.
And I think we're coming up to the embargo where people can post reviews, but the writer for DualShockers, which is kind of a smaller outlet, went on Reddit to post a lot of impressions about
Including
it.
his score.
And yeah, including the score. And they were saying like, well, I'm not gonna go against the embargo, but here's my impressions. And it's like, well, you actually
You totally just broke the
you
embargo.
completely broke the embargo here. So, on one hand, I think I saw Silent Hill fans being excited that this game got a high score.
Yeah.
I saw some people, pointing out like, oh, is there anything here that is of a spoilery nature that I want to stay away from? But then there were also a lot of other outlets who were working on their reviews, like pointing out of like, hey, you can't do this.
Oops.
So this seems to be a newer writer who doesn't have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So the question that we had was like, who bears the responsibility if I'm DualShockers and I hired a green new writer, who has the responsibility to make sure that this person understands what is an embargo? How does it work? How do you follow it?
Yeah.
Should Konami have sent over copious, like a glossary? This is an embargo. This is how we define it. This is what you need to do.
Yeah, I wonder what the communication was like initially from Konami. I'm sure that they sent embargo information or like the details
Right.
around the embargo to someone at DualShockers. If it was to the editor at DualShockers and then that information didn't get properly communicated to the writer, especially a pretty new, inexperienced writer, that might be the editor's fault. You did not maybe Konami did their due diligence and they sent it to DualShockers, their contact there.
Yeah. Or if you're the head of DualShockers, do you need to have like a crash course with your new writer? Of like,
You
look,
you might do that, yeah.
These are the important details
This is
of
an
this
embargo,
of this
yeah.
job, and here's what you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We dealt with this so much, obviously, and we deal with it now on the other side. Like people put us under embargo all the time for games that we're seeing pre-launch,
Right.
and we have to follow the rules of like what you can talk about and how much content you can post and when you can say certain things. So that it is every company has a different way of handling an embargo. So it can feel a bit confusing if you're new to this. Obviously, we're like
Yeah.
very not new to this, so it's fine with us. But I can see it from a perspective of someone that's never had to deal with an embargo before. How that could be a little bit confusing, and maybe they just didn't know the parameters of how to follow it. And some people were like, "This person is a cloud chaser." I'm like, I don't think so. I think this
No.
person is truly did not
Didn't
know
have a clue.
what an embargo is, and like they didn't mean to do this.
Yeah.
They didn't think they would get in trouble for this.
Yeah. I think there's a big burden on the leadership of the outlet for a new writer to really take
Yeah.
them through. It's like, fine, there's the nuts and bolts of writing, but there's this whole other layer of this that
Right.
it is so critically important. Like, who knows? I mean, they could get cut off. And not just
Yeah.
from Konami. Other people could see this, like, oh, you are not a trustworthy outlet. Like,
Exactly.
we just can't.
I mean, if Nintendo saw this,
can't take-
they would 100% cut
I
them
mean,
off.
maybe they are seeing this, and I don't know if they're on their list or not, but
Boy.
that would be probably enough.
Because someone at Nintendo, someone at any brand would take note
Yeah.
of this and be like, oh, they're not trustworthy.
Can't do that.
They can't.
Could have been us.
They can't control their writers. You know,
Right.
they can't be trusted.
Right.
So.
But when we were doing embargoes, we would try and put them through their paces of like,
Is it confusing?
is this completely
Is it
foolproof? Can this be
foolproof?
interpreted a lot of different ways? Because
Yes.
we still get embargoes when we get games sometimes. And it's like, I don't exactly know. This can be interpreted a lot of different ways.
Yeah, we have to ask follow-up questions, but a lot of people won't.
Some people
ask them.
don't.
Some people
Right.
will not ask.
They're like, oh,
the follow-up
that's just what it
question.
means.
We're careful because we've been on the other side, and I know the headache of having to deal with a broken embargo and how
Right.
messy that can
Right.
be, and how just like it is not a fun day for anybody. The brand is upset. The developers are especially upset because you have now, again, like spoiled the plans in a way, and then of course the media outlet is not having a good day either. So yeah.
Right.
Whoopsie.
Oops. Let's transition over to questions from our community. We always get them from our Patreon community. Check us out at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. Start with a question from Antigonus Gaming. In the wake of Fire Emblem getting the primetime closer role for this Direct, can you both comment on where Fire Emblem was within Nintendo when you both got to the company versus where it is now? I've been playing the series for over 20 years, and at times I am shocked to see how much it has grown.
I know. Gosh, Fire Emblem has such an interesting path at Nintendo. I think we might have told us a couple stories about this before, but yeah, like pre-Awakening, it's like Awakening was the moment where everything changed,
right.
I think, for Fire Emblem as a series within Nintendo. Pre-Awakening, it was very much like, this is for a very small, very niche audience, like, this is for this very curated fan base. We would do very little marketing, very targeted towards this fan base, because that's all we can do, and this series will never break beyond this. And then we got Awakening, and it was like crazy popular. That's how I got into Fire Emblem.
Right.
I actually didn't play a lot of the nowadays I've dabbled in some.
So you're a fake fan.
I'm definitely a fake fan.
Oh, good.
I'm really just here for Crom, honestly. I'm here for Crom. But yeah, I mean, Awakening was where everything changed, and then then Nintendo realized, we all realized that Nintendo were like, oh, this could be something so much bigger than we ever imagined, and now we feel like this like sense of like, oh wow, now we can be creative and think about like what other cool things we can do around the series. And of course, like when Fire Emblem characters are like showing up big in Smash Brothers, we always wanted to do something big. Like then it became this like big crossover franchise, like some of the other really popular Nintendo franchises. So then it became big, and it was really cool to see it evolve from there. And obviously Three Houses was huge. This game is the very tiny bit that we saw looks incredible. So it just seems like the series is continuing to grow, which makes me happy.
Yeah, it really came from nothing. Like,
Truly.
if you were to poll, the people in our office pre-Awakening, like, what do you know about Fire Emblem?
Very
I think
little.
a lot of them would be like, absolutely nothing.
What?
Yeah.
Fire who?
Absolutely nothing. So that was kind of a similar phenomenon that was playing out within the company.
Yes.
As well. And those developers were pretty open of like, yeah, this was kind of a make it or break it kind of game for us. And yeah, I think we told that story of, they had modest expectations for Awakening, and it sold out, and then there was just such high demand. Like,
We had to push everyone to digital. Remember?
yeah, like that was like Reggie was very like hands-on of like, all right, this is the moment.
He was right though. Good instincts.
This is why we have an eShop.
Yeah.
This is why we did this. 'Cause,
Exactly.
we're not just gonna sit back and wait for the restock.
No,
push
push.
the boat to come across the Pacific Ocean. It's like, no, we have this eShop. Let's use it.
And it did. It worked.
Let's use this as a big moment to get people comfortable with
Yeah.
buying things on the eShop. And he was totally right.
It totally worked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was definitely this like, 3DS DS phenomenon as well, where like because it was on a handheld, it like matched the gameplay perfectly.
Right.
And I think that's where people started to understand like, oh, this kind of strategy game really is not what I expected. It's not like dry and boring, you know?
And then from there, all the other games got much bigger spotlights.
Where is the sword?
Huh?
The big sword. Who has that sword?
Somebody
now?
has that sword.
Not anybody that's still.
Mike doesn't have it?
I want to ask.
You should
Mike.
ask him.
If someone
What happened
has
to that sword?
I want the sword.
That's actually a real sword. You could hurt yourself with that sword.
It's very heavy.
You need to be careful with that
We used
sword.
it in that video where
Yeah.
we did don't do this to
Don't unscrew your 3DS
your
with
Nintendo
a giant Fire Emblem
3DS
sword.
with a giant
Yes.
Fire Emblem sword.
Don't
And
do it then,
holding
don't do it
that
now.
sword up was very heavy. You held it up, remember?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. What
but-
an amazing journey for Fire Emblem.
Right, but
though.
yeah, after that it was a big deal and got, big budgets.
Big marketing budgets.
Big resources.
Then it was
put behind
like,
it,
let's
yeah.
do the special editions. Let's do
Yes.
all these things.
Time to cash in.
Fire Emblem Warriors. Let's cash in, baby.
Yes. Luna B asks, hello. After the massive direct, one prediction that I did not get to cross off my bingo card was Mario Kart World DLC. Thinking back after the fact, I don't think I would have been super surprised Nintendo not showing anything for it had it not been for the announcement of Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, and I'm enjoying it very much. Why do you think Nintendo decided to not only release DLC for Bonanza before Mario Kart World, but also so soon after the game was released? Are they holding off on the Mario Kart World DLC perhaps for the holidays or even next year? Thanks, and hope you all got plenty of rest after the back-to-back direct uploads.
Yes, notably, excuse me, notably missing is any mention, any peep for Mario Kart World, which was curious. Especially because we were talking about how Mario Kart World is the game that we're pretty sure, and we're still pretty sure, that Nintendo plans on supporting long term. So they are going to need to do some stuff to keep interest high on this game, within the next, hopefully, 8 years. So yeah, it is interesting. One thing that came to mind for me is that they know that it was pretty premium price for Mario Kart World. Maybe they thought announcing more paid content around Mario Kart World so early in its life was just not the move. Like, people might be still dealing with a bit of the sticker shock.
You think they cared about that?
I don't know. I go back and forth around whether they cared or not cared, but I think that they, for them, they do see Mario Kart World as this like pretty complete at launch premium game, and maybe they don't feel like they need to do something around it right now.
I think it's about kind of the plans long term for these games. I don't think we're getting any more DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think this is it.
Yeah.
It's a single player game. It's something that you finish and you move on from. And last week we kind of talked about what if you have a single player game, what is the optimal time to drop DLC? Should you wait a year, or should you do it closer to when you think people who are playing it now might still want to keep going with it?
Right.
And I was kind of right on the edge of I might uninstall this. I don't need this.
Putting it away.
But it was just close. It's okay. I could go. I could be brought back for this. It is kind of becomes a harder lift the longer you wait.
For Zelda games, though, they do have later DLC that bring people back, don't you think?
Which ones?
So they had 2 DLCs for Breath of the Wild. One launched when?
Yeah, but you pre-ordered those before the game came out.
I know, but even if you didn't, do you think people would have come back?
It came out. What did it come out a year later or so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it came out around the Game Awards.
That's right.
When we were getting the award.
Yeah, and people went back for that.
Longer game, though.
Longer game.
People play that for hundreds and hundreds of hours. And so I think that's the situation with Mario Kart. It's this is a game that people are just continually playing, and we don't know, but my suspicion is the DLC plan for that spans years versus we're one and done. So they have a bit more. They can take a more of a long-term view of it's not oh no, people are going to stop playing Mario Kart. What are we going to do? It's no, they know. They know. They have the data. People are still going to play this for a long time.
Yeah. Are people still playing this game, you think?
Yes. How can we space out the couple big drops that we have, and when do we need to do that? And that time is not now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what their monthly average player.
I think it's still.
Do you think it's still?
I think it's still pretty high.
I think pretty high
on the Switch too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's still quite high. Salkin20XX asks, hello, you may or may not have noticed, but in the middle of the Direct, Capcom decided to upload the announcement of the Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. This was briefly shown in the Japanese Direct, but not the US one. Any idea why this is? I won't lie, as a longtime Mega Man fan of all the games, seeing it completely buried underneath all the individual Direct trailers in my subfeed first shocked me, then left a bad taste in my mouth. It feels like Mega Man just isn't worth anything to Capcom anymore, despite the last collection becoming the best-selling Legacy collection. I'm glad we are getting this, but its treatment makes me feel like it's never been more over.
Oh, as a fellow Mega Man fan, how do you feel?
Yeah, so I saw some people saying this was in the Japanese Direct, and I haven't watched the Japanese Direct, so I don't know exactly where they put it, but they'll do this sometimes of, we're going to swap this thing that's in the Japanese because we need to do this sizzle reel with these games that we think are better for the U.S. market. Or again, it's we gotta bend the knee to 2K for Borderlands 4, so we're going to prioritize this over that. There's a lot of little small things that can get swapped out. Everything still has to be the same time, though. That's the tricky thing. It's like, all right, if you take something out, you have to replace it
with the same
it's like
time
Indiana
thing.
Jones with the idol. It needs to
Same
weigh the
weight,
same.
the same weight.
It needs to weigh exactly the same. So I would actually put, I think this is more on Nintendo than Capcom. I mean, it's kind of out. Capcom can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, here's the game. We'd love to be in there, I'm sure, but Nintendo saw something that was a higher priority. As far as like Mega Man's prospects, it's interesting because Capcom, they'll get asked about it and they're like, oh yeah, that's still an incredibly important franchise for us. Or like when we go to the Capcom store in Japan, there's all this Mega Man stuff.
Merch, yeah.
But there's no games.
Yeah, there's no games.
And it's nice. I like, these legacy collections, they're really nice. All these compilations, I appreciate those. I still play those. But it's like, at what point do you pull the trigger on an actual
new
game?
Mega Man? Is that what you guys want as longtime Mega Man fans? Like a brand new Mega Man game?
Yes, we would like a new game. And at this point, like I'm open to whatever they want to do. Whatever. Take a risk, try something different.
3D
fine.
Mega Man.
Fine. They've done it, sure. Do it again. Try it again. Fine.
Mega Man
Better than
racing
nothing
game.
because the longer you wait, it just becomes this like monolith of like, we can't even begin to think of what we
tough.
could do with that.
Now the expectations are,
Right.
again, very unmanaged.
You lose the momentum of anything that the series had. So
and nothing's ever good enough now.
right. If you want to do another kind of in the style of the old school games, do that. If you want to try something new, do that. If you want to try it in 3D, fine. If you want to do the
You'll take what you can get.
the
at
games
this
that were on
point.
the GBA, the Pokemon style games on the GBA, fine. Like just give me anything. But at the same time, it's been so long that it's like I'm kind of numb to it. It's like, what's another year or two at this point?
Meme game? Is it in the meme game?
It's not even in the meme game. That's the sad thing. It's fallen out. Did you see some people were like asking the Pragmata developer of like, hey, could this secretly be some like hidden, reboot of Mega Man?
What?
Because it's like, that girl, she could be like a Mega Man style robot.
Are you serious?
And the developer just like laughed in their face. It's like, no, it is not. This is
Diane is not.
This
Mega
is
Man.
Pragmata, bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
Look.
So yeah, I would love something, but at the same time, I'm not holding my breath anymore.
Okay.
I can't. I need to breathe.
Are you gonna at least play this Legacy?
Star
collection?
Force?
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Tuskoob is here with a question. With both Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 and Mario Tennis Fever being a full $70, it feels as if the variable pricing comment was not very truthful at all. Do you believe what they said about variable pricing and that they're simply showing it off poorly, or was that just an empty comment to try and assuage the drop the price masses? Thank you for your time and thoughts.
Wow. Prices, though.
I went back to the statement from Doug Bowser about variable pricing, and I think
Dissected
I think it's the fact, the phrase variable pricing feels like a proper noun of like, this is the policy. It's like blast processing, variable pricing. Guess what though? They both mean nothing. They both don't exist. It is nothing. If you remove variable pricing, it's pretty much exactly what it would be, what it's always been. We evaluate these on a case by case basis. A lot of factors go into price. We look for the thing that best reflects the value of the game. How is that any different?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the fact that he said variable pricing. It's like, that sounds cool.
You've named the concept.
We're in the variable pricing era. Things have really changed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's the same as blast processing. It never existed. It's a specter of your imagination. It's fake.
Doug, you
went
over on us.
The long list of issues with those interviews continues to this day.
To plague them.
To this day.
Bad communication on that, for sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like that was just PR spin, obviously.
Right.
And for them, it's never been about having games that are cheaper.
Right.
It's just for them to explain why they're going to evaluate every game and price it at the new price.
And if I had Doug Bowser here today, and I said, Doug Bowser, what's going on with variable pricing? You know what he would say? He'd say, well, we had Dragon Drive at $20, and we had Welcome Tour
at $10.
And that, at this point, that's about half of our Switch 2 output. So, yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he would say.
Owned! That's how he would end that.
Mic drop.
Yeah. So they can completely. They have
they have proof points.
They have enough to get you off of that, and like that's our answer. We did it.
It's logical enough where you can't ask a follow-up question.
Right. It's like, I guess if that's how you see it.
But it is though.
Yes.
And they've also convinced
That's how
themselves
they see it.
that
Yes.
they
That is how
see
they
it
see
that
it.
way.
So you want to drag and drive at $70? We can do that next time. Sure, no problem.
We'll variable it right up to 80 if you want.
Yeah. We can get real variable up in here.
In this busy.
Yeah.
We're getting variable.
Last question. Speaking of blast processing, is from Tay120N64. Hey, Kit and Krysta, but mainly Kit. Not to bring up an unpleasant childhood experience, but how are we feeling about the Sonic ad bringing back the Nintendo energy? Have you seen this?
No.
How have you not seen this?
I have not seen this.
What?
What does it look like?
This is an ad for the new Sonic Racing game.
Oh, yes.
And it does have some similarities to those Genesis commercials where they're kind of clowning on Mario Kart a little bit. Where it's like, oh yeah, you can have your little cutesy free roam, and they've got like this like pixelated out like sad little gameplay that looks like Mario Kart. And I don't think it's quite as like
brazen,
hateful as some of the previous ones,
right,
but
right.
it definitely is like, oh
it was poking the beast a little bit.
They're trying to do one of those. But as somebody who had in my office right next to my computer printed out, Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
As a motivational poster?
As motivation to crush my foes daily. This was something I took note of, but times have changed.
You're over it now.
This is like if you're the difference here. You're walking down the street and like a giant Doberman Pinscher is barking at you versus you're walking down the street and a tiny little fluffy dog is barking at you. Back then, Sega was the Doberman. Now they're the fluffy little dog. It's like, that's cute. Why don't you get out of my way? I'm gonna keep going. Like versus like, oh, you could end me. I need to be careful. Oh, this is a threat. Now it's
not a threat. Now it's just like a funny joke.
Yeah, I don't feel any way about it.
You don't feel threatened.
I watched. I had a little chuckle at it.
I feel like that's how they look at it too, though, right?
Right.
It's like they're not being threatening.
They're not actually
on purpose.
We're gonna take you down.
Yeah, they're just trying to be funny and do like a nostalgic thing that we had this fun rivalry. Right. Well, back in the day it wasn't as fun.
Yes.
We had this rivalry and now it's a fun thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So you're not traumatized. No. Wow, look how you've matured.
I know.
As an elder millennial, you've really grown up. Good job.
Change is possible. Personal growth is possible.
Personal growth, yes.
It is. Those are the questions. Thank you, everybody who sent them in. Check us out at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. You can ask questions. You can get bonus Q&As. You can get spoiler casts. You can get behind the scenes. You can get everything your heart desires.
It's a lot of stuff back there.
Check it out. And we got the Metroid Dread spoiler cast coming. We're recording that next week.
You gotta beat the game first.
Shortly after.
Get going.
I've been playing some other things. Don't worry.
You're gonna be able to do it. That last boss prayer.
Do I need 45 hours?
Didn't take me 45 hours.
I'm gonna get this screenshot.
10 hours. Anyways, we're on social. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads.
Yes, and if you're watching this on video on YouTube, we'd love it if you could subscribe. If you aren't already, give this video a thumbs up and leave us a comment to check out. We're always looking for those. And if you are listening on audio like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can also subscribe there, give the podcast a 5-star rating, and leave a written review if you'd like to go the extra mile. Thank you.
Please go the extra mile.
Yes.
It means a lot to us. All right, let's shout out some wonderful Patreon community members, starting with Final Boss Aaron Hash.
There he is, as always.
As always, lording over us with his benevolence. It's great. Superstars, Ben Eichhorn,
Mario Mayhem,
Eigenverse,
Kiss My Flapjack,
Mike Chin,
Roy Eschke,
Switching It Up _
VGM Life,
Link, the Hero of Winds,
Angela Bycroft,
Thomas O'Rourke,
Kyle LaBeouf,
Roberto Nieves,
Frederick Wolf Conradson,
Andrew Uhas,
Chili,
Simon,
Crashuri,
Master Discord,
Ash,
Ajay Kunlas,
40 Gig,
Travis Torline,
Echo Ladare,
That's So Linnell,
MSN Poke Gamer,
Cameron,
R. Burns,
Igami,
Kit 10K,
Adrian,
Nathan Clover,
and the Shark Among Men.
Right,
And the One Up Club, Aaron Burgundy,
Adcool 2000,
Aileen Avalith,
Aldo,
Ali Alejandro,
Alejandro Orozco Borrego,
Andy Robinson,
Angelade,
Aristru,
Astral Void,
Astro Death,
Awesome 46,
Bino,
Bad Moon Horizon,
Barnstorm,
Bates,
Berserker,
Big N Gamer with a Y,
Biscuit, Pickett.
Bob Clayton.
Brandon Cavalpel.
Brent Dennison.
Brian Decker.
Brovac Novak.
Bruce Dash.
Bucky Flores.
Call sign Forte.
Cashew.
Chadir.
Chelly Squirrel.
Chicken.
Chris Fisher.
Crispy Saurus.
Christina.
Christopher Lay.
Chunky Conga.
Colleen Finnegan.
Cosmic Titan 718.
Captain Alex.
Sea Roper 17.
Cynical Squid.
Dagdaleo.
Dallas E.
Daniel S.
Dachshund.
Devi P.
Dinkum!
And Doinko, they have it! It happened. Somebody did it. Somebody heeded our call.
Yes. Bless you.
Dinkum and Doinko.
Dinkum and Doinko.
Oh, I'm so happy about this.
Wow. I'm so excited.
What's the other one we need? Papucom?
Papucom.
Now we just need Papucom, please.
Please. Dre.
Dude Dad Life.
Eccentric Tony.
Elite Peach.
S Parts 50.
Fairbound.
Freddie and Jess. Forever.
Fox Deploy.
Gamers Like Anime.
Gamer Nerd 78.
Garth the Wolf.
Gartooth.
Journey.
Gin Wolf.
Guilty Phoenix 42.
I may have made a mistake.
Ira Bell.
Iris Marin.
It's your boy J-Hov.
J Rando.
Jameson Eisenberg.
James.
Jason Ball 34.
Joe Encarnacion.
Jonathan Rowe.
John Conboy.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joseph Gunter.
Joshua Clements.
Judy Fruit.
Justin Lemminger.
J Wolf.
Callan CPU 57.
Kawa 2796.
Kevin Delane.
Kevin Moreno.
Kilo Kibo.
Kyle Gamerberry Rookie.
Kyle 325.
Kyle Kretzer.
Kyle R. Smith.
Lazy Cat for Coffee.
Leo Rao.
Lex.
Link 9898.
Linko.
Litton.
Luigi Kid 64.
Luke Hayabusa Kramer.
Luna B.
Lynn.
Matcha Potato.
Mad Dog 5981.
Magnificent Easy G and Callie Marie.
Mario Man 392.
Marky Man 64.
Mateus Smith.
Maverick Nate.
Macon.
May plus Leon.
Michael Mazer.
Michael O'Hara.
Michael Wong.
Mikey.
Mr. Rhino 7.
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Pond.
Mr. Beans and Dip.
Mr. Bendu 101.
Mytran.
Nasir.
NIFE.
Negbia Reeves.
Nasuchu.
Nimbendo 64.
Ninja 11.
Noah-san.
Oliver Went.
Omega Index Card.
Pangy.
Paper Boat.
Patrice Millette.
Paul.
Paul Gale Network.
Pepsi Pepe.
PokeDigifan 20.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
Prof. Clive.
Punky.
Raytech.
Reckless Thomas.
Rob M.
Robbo.
Robbie DLC.
Romsky 113.
Rocks.
Ryan Haas.
Ryanetta.
Sage Gamer.
Silkson 20XX.
Sanuki Tanuki.
Sebastiano Garace.
Sega.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Shiny Elizabeth.
Slowbro.
Schmills.
Shump.
Schnozzle.
Spacey Poo.
Spicy Munchkin.
Star Fox Melancholy.
Theo Sotrone.
Steven Johnson.
Stephen Rockoff.
Stuart Radley.
Pseudo Priest.
Super Nerdy Human.
Symbiote Spidey.
Tail of Link.
Hammer rhymes with hammer.
Oh, you did it.
I had to really
It was
think
the ultimate
hard.
test.
I thought really hard.
Tandem.
Tay 120 and 64.
Teal Fox 64.
The Kagers.
The Quiet One.
The Sir OT.
The T-Man.
Thomas Alvarez.
Three Rivers.
Titanium Soldier.
Torcheeks.
Totally Joed.
Totamaru.
Trejowie.
Trevor Collins.
Tug Tubby Bear.
Tusku.
Tylander 16.
Tyler Geis.
Vich Victor MK. Oh, Victor MK.
Vig Mictor.
Vinny to the K.
Viridian.
Virtual Bot.
Waffles.
WG Grizzy.
Wicked Davy.
William Brimer.
Zachary S.
Zelgoroth.
Patty.
Zerling.
And Zoid. Dinkum and Doinko.
Can that be like the next game that someone makes? It's like
Dinkum
a
and
little,
Doinko Adventures?
Yeah, it's like a little adventure game. Dinkum and Doinko.
I'd buy it. Yeah.
They go on like a buddy adventure. It's like a co-op game.
Dinkum and Doinko, Doinkum and Dinkum. Yeah.
Doinkum and Dinkum.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Dinkum and Doinko adventures. Dinkum and Doinko brothers.
Super Dinkum Bros? Super Doinko Bros?
Super
Yeah.
Dinkum and Doinko bros.
I'm into this.
I'm into
okay.
this. I would have played that game. Make that game to somebody. Make the game. All right. Wow, we're feeling much fresher today than we were last week.
We sure are.
Last week I was really on the edge of my.
We were at the end.
At the end of my energy
Yeah.
reserves.
True.
But I'm feeling good today. All right. We're wrapping this up and we'll see you later. Bye.